F.2.
On this episode of Ghost Hunters.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Physic House. There's reports that Dr. Physic was having bodies brought there that he was experimenting on.
Dr. Physic, where did you get these bodies from?
I opened up the door. There was a woman standing right there at the door.
Does anyone here know who the woman was that came to the front door?
Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw someone, and I jumped out of my skin.
Oh, what?
What we'd like to see if what we're experiencing here is from my ancestors. Whoa.
And later.
Middletown, Connecticut, the Elms House in the old jail.
It was built as the town poorhouse. This building, they had hundreds of people who've passed away in here.
His tenants, they're terrified.
The medicine ball just moved spontaneously.
Says stuff happens everywhere.
Who the heck is in here?
We're looking for a little girl. Were you an orphan here?
Somebody footsteps on the stairs.
Taps is heading to the city of brotherly love to investigate reports of bizarre occurrences at a historical property, the Physic House.
This place has some really interesting and intense history.
Often called the father of American surgery, Dr. Philip Singh Physic was a highly respected physician who became known for his treatment of eye ailments and the removal of bladder stones. His many famous patients include the daughter of President Adams, Anne Monroe, First Lady Dolly Madison, and President Andrew Jackson. Dr. Physic was also one of only a few doctors who stayed in Philadelphia to treat people during the deadly yellow fever outbreak in 1793. But there is a darker side to this story.
There's reports that Dr. Physic used to have bodies actually brought to the house that weren't supposed to be being brought to the house. And he used to experiment.
Grave robbing.
Yeah, so think about the negativity that could be attached to that property.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, there's all these different claims, everything from full-body apparitions, people walking up to the front door and then disappearing, objects moving on their own. It'll be interesting to see if we're able to experience any of that or disprove it. Oh, yeah. Sam's not able to join us yet. Some personal stuff she had to take care of at home, but...
Well, it doesn't seem like a very large place.
No, it's not at all, so we'll be perfectly fine.
Well, this is going to be a fun case, and I think the team's going to dig it. We have a lot to sink our teeth into, and let's get over there.
Let's do it, man. I'm good.
Taps case, Physic House, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Del.
Hi.
I'm Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Nice to meet you.
Sir, how are you doing?
Hi,
Steve.
Nice to meet you, Steve.
I'm Dave. Pleasure.
Hi, Dave. Nice to meet you.
Beautiful place.
It is
really
indeed.
is.
It's unique.
Yeah, what's some of the history of it?
Well, it was built in 1786 by Colonel Henry Hill. He passed the second wave of the yellow fever of 1798. Then it's purchased by Dr. Physic's sister in 1815 for Dr. Physic and his wife, Elizabeth Emlyn.
Okay. Now, you're a descendant of...
He is my great-great-great-grandfather.
I know, looking at the history, him and his wife split before moving in.
Yeah, my great-great-grandmother's journal had a story of a tree in the garden. He wants to cut it down, she wants to save it. Led to an argument. She requested a formal separation.
So you separated over cutting down a tree?
Over a tree.
And they were never together again?
He never saw her again except on the deathbed when she was unconscious.
Really? Okay.
Has there ever been anything that has happened here that might be a little on the grisly side in terms of death?
Henry Hill and Dr. Physic both passed in this house.
Okay.
And then we've also had legends of the cadavers in the basement where he would have done autopsies and experiment with his instruments he is famous for inventing that are still used today.
Okay.
He would have had to have gotten the cadavers a certain way.
Yes.
So
yes.
If there's no documentation on it, he was getting them a certain way.
No, they would not document it. No.
Gotcha. All right. So now, are there a lot of paranormal claims that seem to be going on here?
There have been through the years, yes. Well, one day when I was opening the house, I opened up the door, and instantly there was a woman standing right there at the door. It kind of startled me. She looked at me and says to me, "Do they say this house is haunted?" I said, "Yes." I put the open sign on the doorknob. By the time I looked up, she was already gone. I didn't see where she was. No other word. No tour, nothing. That day, June 19th, the day Physic's wife died. Was that Elizabeth Emlyn asking me if she is haunting this house? Do we know that she is?
Interesting.
Visitors to the Physic house report seeing other apparitions and shadow figures on the second and third floors.
I was coming down the stairs, and out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw someone. I jumped out of my skin.
One of the past site managers had a 4-year-old boy who comes to his mother and says, "Mom, who's that man in the bathroom with this strange clothes on?"
Okay. How often do you think you come across something yourself or being reported to you by someone else?
Oh, every few months.
It's pretty much to the whole house.
Yes, my wife is nervous, hears things as I do as well.
There are reports of footsteps and other mysterious sounds throughout the house.
When I'm ready to go to bed, I hear noises in the house. Like there's people walking around. I'm laying there for hours, just scared out of my mind. Like, what are these noises?
All right, so what are you mainly hoping we're able to accomplish here?
Well, we'd like to see if what we're experiencing here is from one or the other of my ancestors, either Dr. Physic or his wife, Elizabeth Emlyn.
Okay. I think from there we'll go talk to the rest of the crew and start figuring out how to proceed.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We just got done talking with Dell about the activity and the claims that are going on over here at the Physic house. And it's sort of personal for him. This is his great-great-great-grandfather's house. And I know some people believe that they've seen Elizabeth here at the house, and she never lived here. Could it be Elizabeth? Yeah, of course. It could be her with a lot of animosity built up towards the house. It should be an interesting investigation, and we're excited about doing this.
So we are setting up this camera to get the front door. The client opened up the door, and there was a woman in period clothing, and she asked if this place was haunted. And then all of a sudden, she just vanished. So we're going to point this camera in that direction to see if we can actually capture what he experienced.
Okay, KJ, we can go as high as possible. That's the way we can get this shot.
Okay, so we're setting up this DVR camera here on the second floor landing because there has been reports of sightings of apparitions moving on the staircase.
Just do another half-inch.
All right, so this is Dr. Physic's basement, and down here is where they believe he did a lot of his early work with cadavers and surgery. There's a lot of heavy feelings down here, so we're gonna leave this camera down here all night, cover this whole area.
All right, guys, it's all cameras.
All right.
Hey, guys.
All set?
All set, yep. We have 6 DVR cameras, and we have 1 GoPro.
Great job.
Thank you.
Let's get the lights out.
All right.
Let's do this.
Cool.
Good
all right,
job,
guys.
All right, there's deep here in this basement. We're on the 3rd floor. 3rd floor of the Physic house. The main claims in this area are figures being seen up here on the landing, things moving up and down the stairs.
We are looking to see if Dr. Physic is still residing in this house. My friend Dustin here has suffered from kidney stones.
Too many times.
We know that you've done a lot of crucial work in extracting some of those kidney stones.
Dr. Physic, are you seeing any patients today?
Dr. Physic.
Jay and Steve in the Physic house.
The table kind of, yeah. You imagine a guy was sitting right here, just probing and cutting open bodies all by himself down here.
See, that used to be an opening of some sort right there.
I wonder if that's how they'd get the bodies in, so people wouldn't see.
Hello?
Might not be in Jay or in the basement. This is the area where Dr. Physic would actually experiment on the bodies, and this table right here is where he would lay them out. You know, that could cause a lot of angst, maybe some sort of trauma or turmoil. I'm gonna try to communicate with him down here.
This whole basement looks like perfect to friggin' store cadavers in.
Yeah, seriously. Dr. Physic, where did you get these bodies from?
Some of the equipment you designed is still being used today.
MF.2. MF.2. What's wrong?
What's that? That thing came flying over here.
It was still moving when he turned around, though. Steve and I, we were investigating the basement, and as we walked out of a room, my cameraman, Kendall, was right behind me. And all of a sudden, a table moved from about 6 feet away.
We were leaving the area, and I'm following them out, and I'm the last one out of that room, and all of a sudden you just hear this kind of shuffling noise, and it picks up, and at that point I swing around, and there's a cart coming right at me full speed. So it startled me. I mean, it was a true blood-curdling reaction, and the guys just went straight into investigation mode.
Is that you who just moved this?
Can we rewind that and watch it?
Of course.
Well, let's get a clamshell down here and take a closer look at what happened.
This is Dustin and KJ on the second floor of the Physic House. This is the room where they have the museum set up with all his tools and such.
Pretty amazing, some of the stuff that he created.
And I'm glad we don't use devices such like this today, but
No doubt.
at the time, they didn't have anything else. Very well respected for the genius of your thoughts, the things you're able to create, people you're able to help and save.
He was one of few doctors that stayed during the yellow fever outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
He treated many very well-known historical figures, Andrew Jackson being one of them.
Very impressive, Dr. Physic.
Right?
All right, let's look at this tape.
MF.2. What's wrong?
What's that?
I don't see anything around him.
So let's go slow.
I was already moving at that.
Yeah. Here it goes. See where he already is, though? He's already around that corner. Yeah, there's nothing around us, dude.
That's cool.
Huh.
That's cool. Can you move anything else?
Dr. Physic?
This is Dave and Sherry at the Dr. Physic house. We are in the backyard.
So right now, Sherry and I are on the grounds of the Dr. Physic's house. And, you know, Jay mentioned to us to pretty much just check out the area and look around. There aren't really any specific claims out here, but it's always a good idea to check the grounds and look around. I already hear a bat, so we know that there's bats around here. So check one, bats.
Check one.
Dr. Physic, I don't know if you can hear us out here, but we're looking for you.
Elizabeth, are you here?
Where's that tree that you both argued about so much?
Henry Hill, are you here? I know you're the first owner of the house. Maybe you're watching over the grounds?
I've been looking at the thermal, I haven't seen anything, but obviously we'll still have to review it again. But with your audio, you know, hopefully we got something.
Yeah.
You know, want to check in with the rest of the team?
Sure.
Yeah, all right, good job.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so this is Dustin and KJ. We are at the Physic House, and we are entering the underground cavern. Is there a step down?
Yeah, there's a slight step up and then down. And then we get the table off to the right. Dr. Physic, we're here to check out your place tonight.
Oh, this is creepy. This is exactly the spot underneath his house where he used to bring down the cadavers and dissect them, do experiments on them.
All right, let's get this thing started. You want to set the REM pod on the table, or?
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
Dr. Physic, we're here to try to speak with you tonight. Try to speak with any of your patients, as it were. I actually work in surgery quite a bit myself, and one of the things that you invented were catgut sutures, which is something that we use daily.
There are some people that believe that some of the bodies that were robbed from their graves and brought here to this cavern may be some of the restless spirits that are inhabiting this house. Can you tell us if you are one of those spirits? Whoa.
Nice, dude.
Whoa, whoa. Some of the bodies that were robbed from their graves may be some of the restless spirits that are inhabiting this house. Can you tell us if you are one of those spirits? Whoa.
Nice, dude.
Whoa, whoa.
That was sweet.
That was awesome.
So are you trying to communicate with us and tell us perhaps you're one of the spirits that passed away over here, or perhaps had your body brought here?
There it is again.
Wow. The same one, too. Whoa.
That's stronger than it was before.
Yeah.
So are you saying that you can hear us? We need you to speak to us right now, please.
Can you light that up on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Man, that was pretty cool.
I think we had some really solid interaction with that REM pod. I'm stoked to get into the evidence and see if we got some kind of EVP, man.
Absolutely, man. Hopefully the doctor or one of the patients left us with something else.
Thank you very much.
This is Stephen Tango on the second floor.
So right here on the second floor, this is the bathroom where a little boy saw a supposed apparition of a man. And so Steve and I right now, we're walking into this room just to look around, check it out, and see if we could see anything that maybe might resemble a silhouette of a person or something. So I'm gonna check it out.
A little kid came in here?
The boy was like standing in the other room almost.
Mm-hmm.
And he was looking in this way. Mm-hmm.
What about this mirror?
I mean, it would reflect the boy.
It would reflect the boy into this glass? You think you could
If the boy was over there, could someone be seen? Can you see me from this reflection of this mirror? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
if I'm looking in this mirror, I should put a light on. Or can you put the light on? Because I'm sure it was during light. Oh! Now, do you see me, my reflection at all?
Yeah.
You do?
I can see you right in the mirror. You look like a person. And I can't see you from here, looking to the right.
Right. Ah.
So I wonder if the kid came in, looked forward, saw a person, and was like,
this,
oh.
like whatever.
Looks crazy.
I mean, that's
a good possibility.
This is KJ and Dustin. we are heading around to the front of the Physic house.
Here at the front of the Physic house, the story is that this woman came up and knocked on the door and then asked if the place was haunted. And then after a brief discussion, just kind of disappeared. So, kind of a cool claim, very different.
Oh, so this is the painting of Elizabeth,
Yeah.
right? Dr. Physic, there are some people that believe that your ex-wife, Elizabeth, has now become attached to this particular house.
Do you have any reason to believe that Elizabeth visits this home?
Does anyone here know who the woman was that came to the front door? Are you Elizabeth?
Jay to Steve.
Go for Steve.
Hey, if you and Dave want to head into the basement now and check it out, it's free.
Copy that. All right.
To the basement, right here. Who knows, man? This could happen again.
Could happen again.
Could happen again. Here, you go first with the light. You were worried about someone being back here?
Yeah.
There's no way for them to, like,
No.
do something like this.
True. We would have heard him moving and shuffling and shaking.
Right.
Jay was right in front of me.
Yep.
Kendall was right behind me.
Thinking about it, Jay was right there, right? In the
Yep.
hallway. Jay would have seen them run away because
Yeah.
that's the hallway this way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Huh. I can't imagine coming down here at night by myself doing
Things
laundry.
flying at you.
Right, like
I know.
that's where
I'll never
just
do
laundry.
I mean, I would, but I'm saying, like, who would? They knew things gonna be flowing at them. What?
Oh, never mind. It's just water.
Oh,
what?
Oh,
what? What was it?
Something
I
falling.
heard crackling.
Did anything fall onto this?
No? I
You heard
heard
that,
that.
though, right?
Yeah, it was right in front of us. Crackling and popping and falling.
Almost like paint chips falling down or something, but there's no paint chips.
Dr. Physic?
Hello?
All right, guys. Sun's gonna be coming up soon, so it's time to wrap.
Tonight's investigation of the Physic house was absolutely amazing. A metal cart came flying and smashed against the wall right towards me and Jay. Tango and I were down in the basement, and we heard what sounded like things falling over and things being thrown at us, and we couldn't find the source for it. One thing I'm a little worried about is figuring out who's here and why they're here. But hopefully, we'll have some of those answers that we can come back and say, hey, Del, you know what, we figured this out for you. Either way, it was a great investigation.
Taps was called to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to look into odd paranormal occurrences at the historic Physic house.
Hi.
We've gone through our evidence.
How's it going, sir?
Good, good.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Hi, good to see you.
And now it's time to share our findings with our client, Del.
Well,
We do have some things to show you. We want to get your take on.
Okay.
So this first piece we want you to listen to was actually recorded down in the room that possibly the bodies were being worked on. It's a weird sound, so we want you to listen to it. Tell us if you've ever heard it before, what it might be. Go from there.
very good.
Here we go. You ever heard that before?
No, I can't say that I have.
Not sure what to make of it. You know, it has the reverberation of sort of a large metal container almost, kind of.
But not like an air duct system.
No.
It's nothing but the heating system or air conditioning.
It's just a weird sound.
In this clip, Tango and I were investigating in the basement, and we started to hear a tremendous amount of crackling and just weird sounds around us. We couldn't find anything that would have fallen. It's just this very strange set of sounds. You'll hear it.
Oh,
Did you hear all that?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, what?
Have you heard anything that sounds like pebbles or something being dropped on the floor?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever had any situations of things moving in the basement?
Not in the basement.
Okay.
Upstairs here, but not in the basement.
All right, this next piece, I just want to show you where that table is right there. It's the one that's in front of the condensing unit for the air conditioning. A little later, we're walking through, and we were able to have an experience which affected my cameraman more than anybody.
MF.2. What's wrong?
What's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That thing came flying over here. Whoa!
That came right behind us and just nailed that wall.
That's pretty astonishing.
Well, you wanted us to come in and see if we were able to figure out if something was here, and if so, who it was. And it definitely appears that something is here, but we can't tell you who it is. How do you feel about the stuff we showed you?
It's a little unnerving.
Oh, gosh.
I know my wife doesn't like to stay in the house alone.
Well, is this going to make that worse now?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, well, you need anything, give us a shout.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Come on, we'll get out of here.
Okay. The evidence that Top showed me is rather disturbing, and it confirms what I had heard in this house.
Thank you, sir.
At first, I was a skeptic, but seeing the evidence that Tops revealed to me, I think this house is haunted.
So I think that went great. You know, sitting down with Del, showing him what we had, and just the mere fact that some of those things he's heard in the past.
Absolutely. He really enjoyed listening to the things that we brought him.
100%, I agree. You know what, brother? Good job, man.
It's a good case.
On to the next. Middletown, Connecticut.
Elms House and jail. Two different buildings on the same property.
Well, the Elms House built back in the 1800s, and I guess at some points there were 100, if not more, kids all shoved into this one Elms House. But also, they have insane people
cuffed in the basement. So think of the activity that possibly could be stuck there, yeah? I mean, all of that
trauma those kids experienced could be acting as a catalyst. And they're claiming to see a gentleman with a top hat.
Apparition of small children.
Yeah, a shadow figure.
There's just a lot of strange reports.
And it's in both properties.
Sam's not going to be with us tonight because she was sick, but we've got enough investigators. No, we should be able to make this happen, no problem. The locations are nice and close to one another, and I think it'll work out well.
Tap's case, Middletown Elms House and Jail, Middletown, Connecticut.
Hi, Lee.
Yes.
I'm Jason.
Hey, welcome to Middletown Homes House.
Beautiful looking building from the outside.
Thank you. Definitely an architectural achievement, too, for the time they built it, 1810.
So what's some of the history here?
This building was built by the federal government. It was the first effort our federal government ever made for welfare. It was built as the town poorhouse, as the alms house. And it stayed the alms house until about 1850, when it was so overpopulated, it couldn't hold the amount of poor that ended up in this area. At that time, the poorhouse held everyone. At one point, there were 110 orphans that lived up in the attic. The sick, the infirm, epileptics, things that we easily treat now, they were afraid of back then. So this wall behind us is the basement of the building, and there's documentation of them chaining the people and keeping them shackled here to protect themselves, just so they wouldn't hurt themselves. And a lot of people died. So this building probably had hundreds of people who've passed away in here.
And you've got the old jail right in front of it?
This particular jail was more of a holding cell.
The jail was built in 1848 and contained 12 cells.
The paranormal activity claims that you seem to be having going on at both properties. Why don't you tell us about that stuff?
The activity I've seen really started when we started the construction of this place. was vacant for 10 years prior to me coming here. Windows were blocked up, doors were blocked up, and you heard doors slam, you heard people walking across the floor above you.
Have your tenants been having experiences as well?
Tenants and clients. They've seen apparitions, they've seen kids.
When I walk into this salon at the Elms House, I can see a little girl who's about 10 or 11 years old. She crouches up in the corner.
In the attic, people have seen the apparition of a man.
I had my back to the room, and when I turned, I saw a gentleman, all in shadow, and he had a top hat on, and he was gone.
Residents also claim to have had beds move and become disheveled on their own. And a bed frame had scratches appear on it out of nowhere. In the gym area, things have been seen to move on their own.
I was training a client, and while we were sitting there, the medicine ball just moved spontaneously across the floor. It rolled about 6 feet and stopped. There was no reason for it to move. There was no windows open.
So what are you mainly hoping that we're able to accomplish then?
When enough people come to me with the same questions and the same things that they've seen or things happen, it makes me wonder, which is basically the reason I was hoping you guys would come help me out.
From here, we'll go talk to the rest of the crew and start figuring out how to set up. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Sir, thank you.
Nice meeting you.
So we just got done talking with Lee about the activity that seems to be going on here at the Elms House and the old jail. And a lot of this activity seems to revolve around a guy in a top hat, children, doors opening and closing. So we need to really cover as many of the areas as possible.
In the first floor salon here, there's an apparition of a child that shows up just behind the statue up there. So we're gonna keep this covering a nice statue all night.
Really, the thing unique about this case is the shaky past that the buildings have had. You know, it has documented history of deaths, of trauma, and all of that turmoil, it really could help get us some sort of activity here on today's investigation.
I know Lee's main concern is that he's had these experiences, but also his tenants have had these experiences as well. And some of them are frightened, and they're looking for some answers.
All right.
Hey, guys.
A lot of cameras in there.
Yeah, 7 DVR cameras. We have 1 GoPro camera.
Great.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. Let's show lights out.
Kitchen.
Oh, definitely original stairs.
Yeah.
So this is the bed with the mattress got flung up. These scratches all appeared. The bed's been finished, and these cut right through the finish, so I have to take some small fingers if that's what it is. Hey. You sound like footsteps on the stairs. I have to take some small fingers if that's what it is. Okay. Hey. You sound like footsteps on the stairs. The same stairs we just came up.
All right, so this is the second floor of the jail.
This is the shadow that
comes by that doorway like it's walking around here, like it's
when
going to
the
the
door is
fridge.
closed, right? They see the light underneath the door.
Change, yeah.
Change.
I'm thinking our best course of action would be to sit in that room with that door closed and see if we see any changes at all.
Turn a light on in here or something?
Put like the oven light?
Yeah.
Bam.
So that's just enough light to work our experiment, I think. Okay, so...
And you were laying in the bed.
Okay, so I'm just doing this to get a proper perspective. They say they're laying in bed, and I can see the crack of light under the door.
How about if I go up there and walk by, just so you can see what the light looks like?
That sounds good.
All right. All right, Cage, so if I walk by from the door inside,
Okay, I can see.
And then if I move closer, if I'm walking by actually where the stove is.
Yeah, that's very pronounced.
Okay. So you're probably right that they maybe leave this microwave light on.
All right, cool.
Based on the experiments that KG and I ran inside the house with the different light sources and whatnot, you know, I would say if there is something going on here, it does seem to be of paranormal nature and not something that can be easily recreated.
The Allen's house. Might as well start right here, huh? Another salon. The claim is that they see a little girl here. So, obviously, what could make people see a little girl besides a statue of a little girl?
Right.
I don't spend much time in salons, so are there fumes that women can be breathing in that, like, if they're staring at this statue, all of a sudden they hallucinate that there's a little girl up there? Not that
it's not going to be that bad, though. Yeah, no.
We're looking for a little girl who's been seen in here. She's been seen in this corner near this statue of a little girl. Were you an orphan here? Do you know Lee? Do you like what he's done with the place? Looks different now, right?
How do people see it up there? Are they looking through the mirror?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Well, let me sit in there. So I can't see the little girl from this mirror.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Well, there she is right there, but it would have to be, like, right here.
Oh, you can't see the statue?
No, I can see it now.
Oh.
But from here, no.
So it's not even just a little shadow. They actually see...
A little girl.
A girl.
Yeah.
Now, the jail cells, they're not really here anymore.
Hello?
Right now, we're in the jailhouse part of the property, and they're, apartments now. But they've had some reports coming from this building, so we're just trying to see if we can experience that.
Hello?
Is there anybody in here with us that would like to talk to us?
Can you give us a sign if you're here?
Hello? I mean, all these areas, they feel relatively comfortable.
Yeah, they do.
All right, KJ.
Wow, thing's amazing. It's actually perfect.
Yeah,
it's just what you
is.
need.
Yeah.
Supposedly this 12-pound medicine ball over here has been known to roll across the floor. That was an interesting claim when I heard it, Dave.
The only thing I could think of is that it was set on, like, a lump. You know how it's, like, it's, like, lumpy?
Yeah.
Let's just roll them around a little bit and see how they act.
Yeah. They're kind of like an egg, They roll just a little bit till they get to one side.
Right.
And then that's it. They don't...
If they're, like, rolling balls, and these are kind of like toys, and we're in a place that used to be an orphanage.
Right.
Can you roll one of these balls in the gym? Go ahead, you can do it.
A lot of crack, snapple, and pop going
Yeah,
on.
it's out of nowhere. Can you roll one of these balls in the gym?
A lot of crack, snapple, and pop going on.
It's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Left and right. I mean, they sound like the house settling, but we've been in there for a while. Didn't hear anything like it before.
No. Now it's all over the place. It's happening everywhere.
Hey guys, it's late. Let's get the lights on. It's time to wrap. So we just wrapped the investigation here at the Elms House in the old jail. And it's been a rather quiet night. We've tried to make contact with these entities that Lee and others believe to be here. Now, we didn't seem to get any direct responses that we were able to hear or witness anything ourselves. That doesn't mean that we haven't caught anything. Of course, we need to analyze the evidence before we draw any conclusions. But either way, we gotta just try to assist them in any way possible.
Taps was called into Middletown Elms House in jail to investigate a number of claims. We've captured some evidence to show our client Lee that'll hopefully give him some answers.
At one point, we were in the apartment upstairs in the back room where the mattress had lifted off. You got the scratches in the bedpost. While we were in there, all of a sudden it sounded like somebody walking up the old creaky stairs.
Okay.
Bitch. We're trying to look around the corner to see who's coming, but nobody's there. Now, that's an experience you've had before?
Yeah, a lot of times I could hear exactly I know exactly where that noise was coming from, but there's no one there.
This next clip we have here, Jason and I were investigating in the actual jailhouse, and we didn't hear this at the time, but you hear a voice in the background.
Does it sound male or female to you?
It sounds female, but more childlike female.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking as well. To me, it almost sounded like it was saying, play dress up.
It does.
It almost sounds like play dress up.
You also have to remember that the jail was in such close proximity to the Alms House, where at one point there were 110 orphans that lived here. So who knows? I'm sure they didn't stay confined here. They had the run of the place. It could have been somebody who played over there often or been there.
I know some of your concerns were the tenants, are they going to have these experiences, how are they going to handle it, and so forth. We didn't seem to run into anything that made us feel like there was any malicious intent.
I don't feel anything to worry about or scary.
No, I totally agree with you on that. So, you need anything, we're only a short drive away, and we can be back.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
Just let us know. All right.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you,
work.
sir. It's been a pleasure.
When I heard the evidence, I was actually a little relieved because then I didn't feel like I was the only one that heard them. Nothing hostile really showed up. Things seemed pretty benign. So that actually makes me feel really good that there's nothing we have to worry about there after our construction.
Oh, I think that went well.
I think it went great. Lee was pretty excited about what we had to show him.
Yeah, the experiences we had backed up the experiences that he's had and others have had, which really helps add credibility to it.
Then it's no longer a story. You know, now it has some viable backing to it.
Absolutely. On to the next, brother.
Thank you.
Love to head in there, but I'd prefer not to be one of the things that the rest of the TAPS team is looking for.
On this episode of Ghost Hunters.
All right, it's the Guard Arts Center in New London, Connecticut.
Thomas Wheeler Williams built the mansion in 1831.
Mr. Williams?
Is that shuffling?
We're going to renovate one more time. We don't want to upset anybody.
You hear footsteps coming up the stairs of the projection room all the time.
What was that?
What was that?
Activity spikes during performances.
People talk about a small girl with a balloon, full-body apparitions of a man hunched over in a chair.
Is there anybody up there in the balcony?
That sounds like a chair.
Whoa!
Hey, that was not me.
Whoa, whoa.
TAPS is on their way to the Guard Arts Center in New London, Connecticut, the site of the former Williams family mansion.
The Williams family was actually a very important part of the area. They made all their money whaling, but the father went on to become the mayor of the town. And
The sad part was that 5 Williams kids died on the property before the age of 22. And then over the years, the property fell into disarray.
But they ended up tearing it down to build the Guard Theater. And they've had all different claims of activity. From seeing full-body apparitions of a man hunched over in a chair, a child holding balloons in the balcony, and the list just goes on and on.
Yeah, and there are some confirmed deaths on the property of family members. It's been 5 or 6 people that actually passed away on the property.
And it makes you wonder if that man in the back of the theater might just be Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams.
Cap's case, Guard Art Center, New London, Connecticut.
It's definitely a good-sized building.
Yeah?
Yeah, we got a couple floors we can investigate.
You guys want to start getting everything set to bring in? Cool. Go from there.
Yeah.
Sure will.
All right.
Cool.
This is beautiful.
Really
Gorgeous.
is.
It's very like Star Wars Cantina.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Mark. How are you? I'm Jason. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
I'm Steve.
Hey, Steve.
I'm Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
How many people can you seat?
1,432.
Oh, wow. So what's some of the history of this place?
Thomas Wheeler Williams built the mansion in 1831. He was a prominent member of society. He was a congressman, and he was part of the start of the whaling community here. And they call the city the Whaling City because of that. After his death, a couple generations lived in the mansion. William Williams was the last one to own it. He sold it, and then the mansion was torn down in 1925. And then in 1926, this theater opened. It was like vaudeville and film and stuff like that.
We heard that there were some deaths that happened on the property here. Possibly some family members.
Yeah, of the Williams. Thomas Wheeler Williams had 9 children. 5 of them died before the age of 22.
Did they actually die on the property here, or were they just...
Back then, they were just laid out in the house.
Right.
So you guys have been having a lot of weird things that have been going on here.
Yeah, there's voices and lights.
How long has this activity been happening?
Since I've been here 10 years.
Okay.
And there are stories before me, too.
Have you ever experienced anything yourself?
I did, up in the projection booth. I was taking some film off a reel. And once the machine stopped and it got kind of quiet, there were footsteps coming up the stairs. And then a big inhale and an exhale. I turned to see who that was, and nobody was there.
Okay.
So that was very freaky.
Others also claim to have had strange experiences near the projection booth.
Actually, coming up the stairs of the projection room, you hear footsteps coming up all the time. You'd be in here running a movie, and you'd hear somebody walking up the stairs. You go out and look, and there's nobody there.
In the back of the house right here, I can see on occasion a person who's kind of sitting in a chair, kind of slumped over, an older gentleman.
Has anybody else seen that same gentleman?
I mean, there are other people who said I saw a person.
I was standing up on the stage, and I look over to the side of the mural over here, and I saw a shadow. The shadow looked like a male figure. I was terrified.
No, people also talk about a small girl with a balloon.
The little girl with the balloon is in the balcony just behind us. She runs across and plays. People often look up to see if somebody's up there.
So numerous people have seen the little girl.
Unexplained noises and voices have also been heard coming from underneath the stage and above it.
We have a doorway up in our grid, which is the area up above the stage, and there will be banging of a door. There's no wind, there's no rain, there's no reason the door should be open, but you hear it banging open and closed.
The theater has also been plagued by various lighting issues.
During concerts, lights would just flash on and off. The audience lights would come on and off.
In the administration building, an employee claimed that his life was saved when he fell off a ladder and felt someone catch him, but there was no one there. In the speakeasy section of the complex, voices, footsteps, and music have been heard.
The hair on the back of my neck stands up when I'm working alone in this place. I'm convinced that this place has got some ghosts in it.
So what are you mainly hoping that we're able to accomplish, Tony?
We're going to renovate one more time. We don't want to upset anybody. Last time we renovated, we had a lot of activity.
Our client is hoping that this new renovation won't stir up any aggressive activity, as they are starting a new arts program for children and want to ensure that students and employees will be safe.
We're pretty much got full access to the whole place?
Everywhere you want to go.
Awesome. This is exciting.
From here, we're going to go talk to the crew and start figuring out how to set up.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So we just got done talking with Mark over there, and he was filling us in, claims that have been going on for, well over 10, 15 years. A little girl up in the top part with a balloon, a guy just hunched over in a chair. I think he was telling us, too, is they have a guy who was in charge of the lighting ended up dying when he fell. And ever since, they started having all these weird lighting issues. I don't know if they're connected, but it's neat that it all seems to happen around the same time.
A lot of good ammunition for this investigation.
Got a lot of ground to cover.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, well, let's do
Excited.
this. Come on.
Let's do it.
So we just finished talking with Mark about a lot of the activity going on here at the Guard Art Center. And there's claims of a full-body apparition of a man hunched over in a chair.
I'm setting up a full-spectrum camera in the main theater. There's an apparition of a man sitting down in the orchestra area. We have a nice, big view of the whole place, so we got this camera in a good spot.
A little girl holding balloons in the balcony.
So we're placing this camera up here on the balcony, and basically we're going to be aiming it straight across because that is where the young girl with the balloons have been seen. This camera will cover all of that tonight.
Mark's main concern is that they're getting ready to do more renovation here. He wants to make sure that this is going to be safe, that they're not going to really be dealing with a lot of issues. So we want to really get in there, set up, and just start investigating.
So I'm in the administration building at the Guard Art Center, and I'm in a second hallway outside the door where the ladder is, where the man fell and was supposedly caught by someone who wasn't there. So I'm setting the camera up as far back in the corner as possible. I'm grabbing the entrance to the hallway, the exit to the hallway, and lots of doors.
It's always tough when you're investigating a theater because audio tends to really travel because that's the way the theater was set up. So that is one obstacle that we're going to have to overcome here. But, you know, we've investigated many of these theaters, and we're looking forward to checking this out.
There are a few things that are unique about this theater. One is that our client has had experiences as well, and that's very, very important. He's here every day. He's been here for 10 years, and he has experienced things. Also, we have the names of people who have passed away here, people in the Williams family that actually died here on the property when it was a mansion. To have those names, that's going to be quite helpful.
All right, Jareth, I'm up here in the balcony, man. What do you want to do?
Let's pan left a little bit. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Right there. That looks good. I like it.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
All right.
So we all set?
Yeah. We have 5 cameras. Camera 1, this is the stage, the orchestra area, and the balcony all in one shot. Camera 2, this is the stage towards the orchestra and the balcony area. This is where they see the little girl.
Yep,
with the
little girl with the balloon.
What about that slumped over guy?
Right over here in the back.
In the back, in the back left.
Camera 3, this is the office hallway where that ladder is. So we got a nice wide angle getting down this hallway and some of this area right here, even the elevator. Camera 4, this is the lobby where those apparitions are seen wandering in and out of the auditorium. And camera 5, this is a closer shot of the balcony. So, you know, if we do capture that girl, it'll be a little bit closer. So we have multiple cameras getting a lot of different things.
And the GoPros.
And GoPros and everything.
Well, cool, man. Let's get the lights out and get the investigation.
Nice job, Dave.
Thank you.
Jay and Steve, the Guard Theater, New London, Connecticut. Should have gotten some balloons.
Now, if they see a little girl with balloons, that must mean the balloons are part of the vision, right?
That's exactly what it would mean.
They're not here physically. That's been manifested along with the little girl. So would that make it more of a residual type of haunting?
I would think so. And they also say the lights turn on and off, and they've seen a man sitting in these chairs. Hello?
Is there more than one person in here with us? Anybody in here know Mr. Williams?
Is that shuffling or is that air conditioning that you hear?
I heard like a
yeah. Hey, if you're out there, want to play a game, maybe push down one of the seats on the chairs, make a noise. You do it, and we got to point in the direction it came from. We won't even get off the stage. How about at the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Oh. That sounds like a chair. Want to play a game? Maybe push down one of the seats on the chairs, make a noise. You do it, and we got to point in the direction it came from. How about at the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Oh. That sounded like a chair.
It did sound like the seat of a chair, maybe.
We can hear you over here on our right. Can you go over to our left?
If you can make a sound that's louder than that, then we can be sure it's you.
We're not going to come up there. We won't come and bother you. We're just going to go right here. It had the boom initial sound.
It had the boom, but not
Like
the
this.
after.
Yeah, see, it's not doing the...
What if it was the sound of it just coming down and staying down?
Oh.
That sounds a little more like it.
For all we know, that one chair making this sound could be that guy that people claim to see hunched over.
It could. It really could. Oh. Same area.
Yeah.
Are you switching seats? Ooh, yeah.
Same area. That's where I told you.
Yep.
And this side. Oh, it just lit up brighter.
Oh. Whoa, man.
Oh.
That sounded like a chair.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
This is Sam and Sherry and the Speak Easy.
So, what were the claims?
Oh,
Thank you. Oh my God. That was funny.
Okay, so they've heard footsteps, they've heard bangs, they've heard voices, they've just had lots of experiences when nobody's in here with them. So we'll see. I'm just looking at the fact that it's like a big open building. Because, I mean, you hear somebody walking around. They could be anywhere. Look at this. I hear music. Oh my God. The other claim for the property is the sound of music. We're not only hearing cars drive by and their music, but I mean, we're hearing people standing outside singing right now. So just the fact that sound comes in here so easily, we need to put that into consideration. Let's keep walking through. Let's keep doing a sweep of this place.
Well, if there is anybody here and with us, we're just here checking the place out.
So if you want to make a sound to let us know that you are here, we would love to hear it.
Is there anybody here with us? Can you tell us your name?
And I would think with some of the stuff, especially when you're in a theater, usually EMF's off the charts.
Yeah. There must be something under the stage. All right, here we got a 3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep, there you go. Oh, geez, right under your feet, too.
And that seems like a constant source.
We need to look under the stage. That right there is going to give people fatigue, hallucinations, nausea, paranoia.
Absolutely. They can hear voices.
So
would this be under the stage or just...
So it's the green room. Yeah. You humming or what back here?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Got the 12s. 8. Whoa! Yeah. We're up to 40 now, Jay. This is right under their feet, probably.
All right, so that brings us to two conclusions to start off with. Either the high EMFs are fueling the activity and allowing it to manifest itself, or the high EMFs are making people believe they're seeing things that are not really there.
Coming up to the projection booth. This is an area maybe that you work in, that you're familiar with. We just want to come in and see if we can hear some of the sounds that people say they hear. So right now we're up in the projection booth, all the way in the top, in the back of the theater. And people say they hear the sounds of some of the canisters falling over, then everything's okay. They see lights go on. So we're hoping to see if we have any activity while we're up here. It's the gentleman who takes care of the lights here tonight. I apologize, I don't know your name, sir. Apparently you like to climb things quite a bit. Had an unfortunate accident.
If you can hear us, please just give us a simple yes.
Are you the one who turns the lights on up here at night? We need to change these reels. We need to change the movie over. Where's the other reel?
Whoa.
What was that? We need to change these reels. We need to change the movie over. Where's the other reel?
Whoa.
What was that? Did you hear that sound? It was like something dropped or something.
Are you the lighting engineer? Have you come back here? Playing tricks on your friends?
Can you help us figure out how to work these lights, sir? It's the lighting gentleman here, the lighting engineer. Is he here tonight?
Here's the boiler room.
Hello? Mr. Williams? If you're here, we need you to talk to us.
Can you make a sound? Let us know you're here.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this one. Mr. Williams?
Steve. Oh, you know where you are. You just made a loud sound.
Wait, did I scare you?
Was that not you?
Well, I went through a bunch of doors, yeah.
Were you just banging on the...
I didn't bang on anything. I did slam a door. Not slam, but it closed behind
But
me.
you weren't just banging on this piece of metal right here?
No. I'll walk my same path and see if...
go. Okay, but even beyond that...
If I was not banging on that wall. I came through here.
No, there was literally just... That's what it was.
Was it when this door closed, maybe? Because I opened this, went through here, and this would have had to have closed.
Maybe. It could be. That was just...
You don't go on the other side and see if the sound matches.
All right. No, that's way louder than this was.
Okay. Stay there and tell me if this sounds like it.
All right.
Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That was not me.
How'd it go over there, next door?
Good. I mean, it's very quiet.
Steve and I just had some really cool experiences in the theater. Voices, movement, things shuffling. It sounded like walking and something moving all around up there. So I think you guys should at least go check that out. See what you can find.
All right. All right, the recorder is smack dab in the center the stage. Hello? Is there anybody in here? My name's Sam, and this is Sherry.
Hello.
We think you may have met our friends. They were in here a little while ago talking to you.
We understand someone from the Williams family might be here. Thomas, if you're sitting in one of the seats, can you make a really loud noise just so we know whereabouts you are?
Our friends think they may have heard a child. If there is a child in here, could you tell us your name?
The gentleman who used to do the lighting for the theater, are you here?
If you're listening, could you turn on a light? Any light in this room?
I headed up into the upper areas above the stage, the catwalk area. And of course, Steve, being scared of heights, my cameraman followed me. Leads to another old ladder. Holy crap. What is that stuff? Oh, hang on. It was just a... It was just a sound, like a voice. This is all the pulley systems for the theater. You see that? Sound like a female or kid or something? Why the hell would there have been a female or a child voice up here? Up here, of all places. I would love to head in there and actually see, but I have to be honest with you, safety-wise, I'd prefer not to be one of the things that the rest of the TAPS team is looking for. What the hell?
Here's your flashlight.
What was that?
I don't know, but I definitely caught that.
Oh.
Sorry. Where'd that come from?
Was it over here when you hit the board, Bill?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't over there. I would have seen it. I looked down right there.
I think if I drop this, it's gonna shatter. That's my only problem. So, no, I don't think that was the sound. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Like when I first initially heard it, it sounded like concrete falling or something, but
maybe it was though. Are you sure this ball wasn't here then?
Dude, I looked down there. I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know what would have made that sound then. That was weird.
Okay, this is Dustin and KJ. We are heading up to the balcony here at the Guard Arts Center.
So we got a bunch of apparitions, right? The one of the three people.
Yeah.
One of the little girl in the balloon.
The one that moves back and forth on the balcony.
The shadowy one. All right, so any spirits that are here in the theater with us tonight, this is my buddy KJ. My name's Dustin. I'm gonna try to speak with you and communicate with you however we can. There's a lot of seats in this theater. We don't know where you're at. So if you'd like to maybe pull down one of the seats and let it go back up so we could hear that.
We also, we bought tickets for a show. We're just trying to find our seats. Is there an usher here that can help us?
So sometimes they hear the old tin popping sound of the old lights that they used to have here. We'd like to hear these sounds too.
Is there a member of the Williams family here with us? Can you try and call out so we know where you are?
A weird clicking sound from the ceiling area. If you're able to do that sound, could you do it again, please? I'm gonna come over here where the young lady with the balloon has been seen.
We don't mean you any harm. We're not here to scare you. Dustin brought that balloon specifically for you.
So this is where they've seen that man sitting down back here, just sitting here. I mean, do you see any silhouettes at least, or anything that would look like a man? Hello? Is there a man in here sleeping in a chair? Were you the light technician that used to work here? Mark invited us here. He wants to make sure that everyone's safe here. Is there anybody up there in the balcony?
Yeah, they said that activity spikes during performances. So maybe you should do a little performance.
Of what?
Whatever. I'm in the audience.
And disappears.
We're performing for you. Tango is doing magic. On the stage, there's magic. We know you like theater. Are you in here now?
There's Dustin and KJ over in the administrative part of the building.
Right now, Dustin and I are on the 3rd floor of the administration building. There's a maintenance closet with a ladder. Supposedly, someone was climbing the ladder and they lost their handing on one of the rungs and started falling back, and something stopped them from falling, pushed them back up against the ladder. The person turned around to say thank you, and there was nobody there.
Oh, that's
See the
supposed to be
ladder?
it. Yeah, this is it.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Not a lot of room. I mean, if he was going to fall backwards, like, it's solid. I'm not going to experiment enough, try to fall, and trust the spirits to catch me.
It seems like if you leaned up against the backside of that wall, the cubby right here, I mean, that would save your life if you fell.
Obviously, you would feel like a wall or something like this hitting your back.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't mistake that for someone grabbing you and holding on to you.
Could that have possibly been the lighting engineer?
What was that?
What was that?
Obviously, you would feel like a wall or something like this hitting your back.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't mistake that for someone grabbing you and holding on to you.
Could that have possibly been the lighting engineer?
What was that?
What was that? That was loud.
What was that?
What was that? That was loud.
Are you the spirit that was able to catch the gentleman that fell off this ladder?
Hello?
Mr. Williams?
The reason why we're asking about the Williams family is because where the theater sits now, there used to be a mansion. The Williams family lived there, and so there are thoughts that some of the experiences that people have had here on the property may relate to the Williams family.
If somebody's up there and I fall, you catch me, okay?
Okay.
Deal.
It looks really ominous from here. I'm disappearing up into a black hole.
Mr. Williams? Whoa!
Hey, what was that?
I came out near the roof and there was this huge bird and he like took off.
A bird?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh man. Literally he was like right nested here. So he jumped up.
That would have scared me.
Yeah, because you're not expecting it, you know. Oh, there he goes, he's flying off. There might be more. I was coming out nice and slow because I didn't want to, you know, if it sounded like somebody's voice and I see all this crap up here, come around the corner, it's just a big bird. Oh. Man, that's nuts.
All right, guys, it's late. Let's get these lights on. It's time to wrap. So we just wrapped the investigation here at the Gard Art Center in New London, Connecticut. There's been a lot of activity that definitely backs up the claims that Mark was telling us earlier. I was able to hear things, Steve was able to hear things, many investigators were able to have some experiences. And I definitely think we've covered the place to the best of our ability. It's great because we know that we do have some stuff already to show Mark to try to answer some of these questions. So now it's just what else do we have that we're not aware of yet?
I really think that we had some experiences that are sort of telling us that a lot of the claims that they're experiencing could be legitimate, and that's pretty exciting. The team did a great job, and I really can't wait to see what they bring to us after they analyze everything, things that we didn't even know were in the evidence, and that's all going to help us sort of piece together the puzzle. You know, who's haunting this place? Why are they still here? Does it have anything to do with the Williams family? We still have a lot of work cut out for us, even though the investigation is over. But we're excited for it, and we'll get back here and fill Mark in on everything that we found.
All right, guys, so Gard Art Center, our client Mark, his main concern is that, you know, they will be doing renovations. And he wanted us to go in and check out the place and make sure everything's going to be okay. And they keep seeing apparitions in the theater, up in the balcony. There's a little girl with a balloon. And they've seen an apparition of a man in the orchestra area. You heard the story about the lighting man, technician, the lighting technician. Yeah. He passes away, and then all of a sudden they start having lighting issues. Yeah. Like that's his way of saying, hey, I'm still here. It's quite the coincidence that would happen. So. As far as experiences, did anybody have anything happen?
No. Sherry and I did make a point, though. I don't know if anybody else went, but we went over to the speakeasy. And as much as the windows and doors are boarded up, I mean, music was coming in, people down the street were singing, and it sounded like they were in the room with us. So
there you go.
Most of the stuff there we could explain.
Yeah, because a lot of people were hanging outside. They were talking, and it sounded like they were actually inside the building with
and
us.
even cars driving by a few streets over. I mean, we could hear their radios.
Wow. I know Jay and Steve had some things happen to them, and I have them here. They were backstage?
Yeah, so they're backstage, and at one point had made their way to this area here with the ladders going up into the rigging. I wanted you guys to take a listen. Holy crap. What is that stuff? Oh. Hang on.
It was just it's just like a voice or something.
Right, so I think in that clip it was hard to hear because, you know, obviously Jay got to a tricky area where his camera guy had to follow him up a ladder and everything at the same time. So I think with that kind of movement, it was really tough to hear.
Hang on.
This is actually the extension of what we just witnessed. He went up to that next landing, and then from there he's looking into more of the rigging that's above the stage and everything like that. And he heard the voice again.
You see that?
Right there. So it's right before that car. You could definitely hear something.
Is it the breathing? The breathing, yeah. That is interesting. Why is it up there?
Right. But then the next clip, Jay was actually coming down from one of these middle landings, and this is the experience that he had there.
It is fantastic. It's great.
Again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to really getting to the Guard Art Center and sitting down with Mark and just showing him the things we caught, sort of getting his take on it.
The TAPS team was called to the Guard Art Center, which is also the site of the former Williams family mansion in New London, Connecticut, to investigate a number of paranormal claims. With renovations about to begin, our client Mark wants to make sure that the spirits rumored to be in the building won't pose a danger to employees or children who will be attending a new arts program there.
We really did get lucky there and got some incredible evidence.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good to see you again.
Hi.
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
Pretty good.
All right.
So you opened up the doors for us here at the Guard Theater. You brought us and you told us about a lot of the claims that you guys have had over the years, and just allowed us to do an investigation. Now, we do have some stuff we want to show you, want to go over with you, get your take on, and just go from there.
We were able to implement a lot of different techniques to try to interact with something that may be here. Tang and I actually put on a bit of a performance, you know, because you had said it, you know, it sort of spikes after there's some, right? So we tried a lot of different things.
So at one point during the investigation, we were right here. We were trying to communicate with any of these entities that have been seen out in the audience. And in the possibility that it might be a child or even an adult, you sort of try to create a game. You go sit in a chair, we'll stand on stage, we'll try to figure out where you sat down. So throughout the time we did that, you'd hear what sounded like somebody moving up there when nobody else was in here, and then you'd hear what sounds like a chair coming down.
Ooh, yeah.
Same area. That's where I told you.
Yep.
Right this side. Oh, it just got brighter.
Oh, whoa, man.
That's great.
And it does. It sounds as if somebody is sitting down in a chair, or they're standing up and you're getting that bouncing that they do.
Oh, whoa, man.
That's awesome.
And a lot of those sounds seemed like they were coming from the upper balcony areas where a lot of people claim to see that little girl with the balloon.
Right. I could kind of see how it would be footsteps also.
Yeah, we did hear in a few different areas what sounded like footsteps. At one point, Jason was up on the catwalks there and heard what sounded like some footsteps. And
even beyond that, when you get up to the top ladder, there's a landing, and then there's another ladder that feeds up again. While we were up there, I was there with my cameraman, Kendall, and there was a female or a child voice which just came out of nowhere.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it was neat, but it was also strange because where we were trying to understand why we'd be hearing
you wouldn't have like
children's voices.
Right. That is wicked.
Well, that is, but this next piece, again, I'm still up in the same area with my cameraman, Kendall, and there's a loud bang. I want to get your take on what you think it sounds like, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
what the hell?
Wow. What does it sound like to you?
It sounds like metal.
Sounds like metal, okay, because the only thing we could find that would possibly have sounded similar was a bulb that was on the floor up there. Now, we tried to recreate it with the bulb, and it sounds nothing like that. No, that wasn't the sound.
What's weird is you can almost hear that initial impact with a sort of a glass-breaking sound, but this bulb is completely intact. What the hell?
If it was a bulb, it might be a neat connection because you're a lighting guy that did pass away. One thing we did find was while we were on the stage, we did isolate an extremely high magnetic fields that are coming through. Yeah. Now, there's two different things that can happen with that. A lot of people believe that high EMFs can help fuel activity, which could explain people seeing things, but also there's a hypersensitivity to it where people experience paranoia, nausea, fatigue, hallucinations. So it could be one of both, but through the activity we caught, it definitely seemed like something with some sort of an intelligence was here because it was making contact, it was doing sounds around us, it was sort of just letting us know it was there.
And nothing malicious, you know, we didn't get any sort of off-putting type of sensations, so your renovations should be fine. And in terms of trying to figure out who's exactly here, why they're here, unfortunately, the only thing we can sort of make any connection with is the light bulb and perhaps the lighting guy that passed away. But I'm not sure if we're reaching there to try to make a story that isn't quite there. Right. And we don't want to do that.
Honestly, I think it was a great investigation. We had a good time, and we caused some neat activity. What do you think?
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you need anything. We're only 20 minutes away, so give us a shout. We'd love to come back.
Thank you very much.
We'll do this again.
Yeah. This was a blast. Thank you for having us.
Thanks a lot.
Come on,
So the main reason we called Taps out was for the lighting issues and other things that might hamper our renovations in the future. And I think now, knowing that whatever's here is kind of happy, that I don't think we're going to have any problems going forward. So we're very happy.
I think that went well.
I think it went great. It really did. Mark seemed pretty excited about the stuff we were showing him.
Yeah, he really lit up. You know, when he heard that voice, you could see the smile on his face, and he started chuckling.
Yeah.
And he thought, just like we thought, that's a child's voice.
And, you know, it might be a far leap thinking that sound was a bulb, their lighting guy. So I agree with you totally on that.
Yeah.
But all in all, brother, this was a great investigation. You know what? Good job, brother.
Thank you. You too.
On to the next, man.
We were upstairs looking for...
Sound like a footstep upstairs.
On this episode of Ghost Hunters.
Cornwall Bridge, Connecticut. It's got kind of a crazy little history in that area. A lot of people believe that it's just rampant with dark energy.
Every family who's ever owned the place has had tragedy.
I feel a cold hand wrapping around my right ankle, then a sudden jerk.
What's that? Sounds creepy.
I'd like to know who's here.
Hello?
I know there's someone.
Is your name Mary, perhaps?
Are you kidding me?
And later,
We've got two different people who are experiencing the same activity at two different buildings.
In here, we hear a little girl's voice and kids running along the floor.
What was that?
Something pushed me into the cage and nobody was there.
Oh, there we go.
Is there a little girl apparition here?
Does that little girl follow me? Look!
So Cornwall Bridge, Connecticut, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in this part of Connecticut, and it's so beautiful. It's so very New England.
But it's also got kind of a crazy little history in that
course.
area with Dudleytown right there.
Yep.
Dudleytown is an abandoned settlement in Connecticut that dates back to the 1740s. Legend has it that the settlement was cursed with many of its inhabitants dying violent deaths or going insane.
A lot of people believe that it's just rampant with dark energy.
Today, the woods where the village once stood are privately owned and off limits to the public. But many people in the surrounding areas are worried that the so-called curse of Dudleytown has spread.
This lady, Robin, who called us in to investigate, her property is just slightly away from Dudleytown.
Yep.
And she's claiming all these weird things that are going on in her house. Things like seeing these black figures, this entity of a man. And she's wondering if it has anything to do with Dudleytown.
Right. Well, even if you take the curse away, those bad things did happen.
Yeah,
the
they did.
energy could be there.
All right, man, let's get over there and find out what's going on.
Taps case, Vogel residence, Cornwall Bridge, Connecticut.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Jason.
Robin, nice to meet you.
How are you?
Robin, nice to meet you.
So, this is a beautiful place.
Yeah, thank you.
What's some of the history of this property, though?
Well, the original house was built in 1780, and then this is actually an addition that was put onto it in 1830. And then in 1948, they cut the second and third floors off, and with oxen and logs, dragged it over here.
Really?
Took them a year.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Records show at least 9 deaths on the property tracing back to the two families that owned the house during the 1800s, the Bierce family and the Wadhams family.
Every family who's ever owned the place has had bad luck, illness, and tragedy. Mrs. Wadhams had tragedy like you wouldn't believe. She lost her husband, 2 of her children, and her grandchild, and her mother.
Okay.
I know a lot of children died here.
On the property?
On the property.
Okay.
When
What
the
did
house
they die
was
of?
together. Odd things like drowning. One was kicked by a horse.
Jeez.
Right after I moved in, was hit by a truck. Went through 6 years of surgeries. I was literally crushed.
And did that happen right around the house, or?
Yeah, it was about 5 miles or so up the road.
What's some of the activity you have going on here?
The scariest thing that happened in my house was I wasn't even close to sleeping. And this black shadow walked up to the side of the bed, and it seemed like it put its hands out. It felt like the energy was being sucked out of me. And then it turned around and slowly walked out. I was so scared, like I said, couldn't move.
Where did that happen?
In my bedroom, my master bedroom.
In the main house.
In the main house.
In the main house, okay.
And then one of the children's bedrooms. People wake up in the night and the bed is shaking. And one kid went to get up and he felt like hands were holding him down. He couldn't get up.
Okay. Several visitors report a similar experience.
I was in Robin's guest bedroom upstairs in the main house, and I was laying in bed, and I feel a cold hand wrapping around my right ankle, then a sudden jerk. I'm starting to wonder if what had messed around with me could be evil.
So is there anything else you want to fill us in on?
When I went into the cellar one day, I actually saw a woman doing laundry in the old soapstone sink. She turned and looked, and I froze.
Did she look directly at you?
I think so.
Okay.
And I have chills just talking about it now.
What happened? Did she vanish?
I just backed up and went up the stairs.
Okay.
There are also claims in the guest house known as the Amsel House.
Someone goes up and down the stairs. You can hear it very loudly. I've been standing there with a contractor. We hear it. Oh, somebody's coming. It might be Justin, my son. No one's there.
Okay.
Robin, her son, and several of their friends also report hearing a disembodied voice that seems to mimic Robin.
I was upstairs in the south suite in one of the bedrooms, and I was hanging some curtains in there, and I thought I heard Robin yelling to me. I couldn't make out the words, but it sounded like a feminine voice. So I yelled back to her, and she didn't answer me. So I went downstairs to ask what she wanted from me, and she wasn't there.
Did you have an idea that maybe the actual location of Dudleytown had something to do with these hauntings?
The people who owned my house owned all of that land. At one time, it was one piece of property. So I believe that it's connected. It seems like the bad luck kind of goes together with what people had experienced up there.
So what are you mainly hoping that we're able to accomplish here for you?
I'd like to know who's here. I know there's someone. I'd like to know. I think there's several. I want to pass the property down to my son, but I don't want him to experience the things I have experienced.
Right.
I mean, so I was hoping you guys could get some answers for me.
We'll definitely do our best on it. I'm just hoping that if we're able to catch anything, that it doesn't make it worse for you.
I think if I at least knew what I was dealing with, maybe I would know how to proceed.
All right.
Well, we'll try.
Yeah. From here, we're going to go talk to the rest of our crew, start setting up
Great.
the equipment, see
Go
what we
ahead.
can figure out for you, okay?
Thank you so much.
No, thank you, hon. We'll see you soon, okay?
Thanks, Robin.
Thanks. Thank you.
Let's go, man.
So we just finished talking with Robin, and she told us about a lot of the claims of activity that she's been having here on the main property and also next door. She's concerned for the safety of herself, her son. She wants to turn over the property to her son, but she's a little worried of how it's going to go.
Robin wants some very particular answers. You know, she wants to know, is it involved with Dudleytown? It is a place that has met a lot of tragedy, and whether or not that is carried over to this property here for whatever reason, we're going to do our best to try to figure that out.
The fact that one of the properties used to be attached to the other property could help to understand why these things are moving back and forth. But the main thing is we're here to try to figure out what's going on and try to help Robin any way we can.
And Sherry isn't with us tonight, but even though we have 2 houses to investigate, we should be fine.
So we good to go?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. All right, what do we got?
All right, this is the master bedroom. Camera 2, this is the first floor living room. Camera 3, that's where the son was held down. This is the bed. Camera 4 is the basement. And camera 5, this is the guest bedroom.
Nice. All right. Well, then, yeah, we're pretty much set to go lights out and start investigating.
Yeah. This is where all those visuals happen.
Jay and Steve, main house. My name's Jason. This is my friend Steve.
Hi.
We're here because Robin, the homeowner,
is sort of scared of what's going on here. She's wondering if you're from Dudleytown. Can you talk to us about Dudleytown?
I'm gonna look in the basement.
Yeah, let's check out the basement.
Well, this is the old sink she's talking about.
Normally EMFs for basement 2, 3. We were upstairs looking for...
It sounded like a footstep upstairs. We're on a concrete floor, so I don't think it's us.
Yeah, this is concrete. Hello?
This is Dustin and KJ. We are in the first floor of the Vogel residence. This is in the bedroom. So I know the client, Robin, feels like there was a dark entity in the room and then there's some type of force.
It doesn't seem like whatever she came in contact with really has pleasant intentions.
This very traumatic event for her.
Are you willing to communicate with us?
Does Robin have reason for concern? What's that?
What? Let's come in from back here. Come back here. Back part of the house. Does Robin have reason for concern? What's that?
What? Sounds creepy. What is that?
Let's come in from back here. Come back here. Back part of the house.
It's creepy as hell.
What is that?
Sounds like a banshee.
I'm just gonna get the camera of the thermal just to see.
I want to hear it again so I can see which way to go.
That's probably one of the creepiest sounds I've heard.
Really strange, right?
Oh! Is that eyes? Oh, look!
Where is it?
It's running in the yard. What? Tango with the thermal.
Right here.
Steve, do you know what that was?
It's a Fisher cat, and it's about the size of a Great Dane.
Cool, I'm glad we're out here in the dark looking for a large cat.
It's crazy.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
Jason and Samantha in
The Emsel house.
the Ansel house. Now, mainly she's hearing footsteps and voices in here.
And knocking.
Thing is, it's a common thing in these old wood homes because you're getting moisture in the wood, and as it dries out, especially in forced hot air, it's going to start creating creaking and popping.
And the sound travels.
But that was just that.
I don't know what that was. It was in the kitchen.
Okay, so you did hear that.
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Here's again.
that.
You sure that came from in here?
It came from in there. And I don't know what that sound was, but when you walk over here, there was knocking from over here, but it was doing it as I walked.
I'll walk back into the kitchen the same, see if any of it creates the same sound. Ready? Here I go.
Yeah.
You want to try it?
It's this. It's a window.
That's my girl. Yeah, that could, especially when it does this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's gonna give the sound of somebody walking. And it doesn't take much. That's gonna be it.
I bet you all of the windows do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, when you investigate like that, I don't mind telling people you're my daughter.
All right.
Actually, makes me proud.
All right.
Steve and Tango, Vogel Family Home.
Vogel Family Home.
So in here, Steve, this is where Robin had her attack. She saw a dark figure coming through here, came over here, and went boom, and started electrocuting her.
Right. Either electrocuting her or sucking her energy out. I mean, should we lay on the bed for a minute?
Oh, it's a tall bed.
Okay. So she was just here like this, laying down? She was awake?
She said she remembered. She said, like, I was wide awake.
Hello? You know who Robin is? She said you came at her when she was in bed. Can you come towards me?
Are you a member of either the Bierce or Wadham's families? Can you make a sound where you are, and we'll come towards you? What about static?
I don't feel any static. I don't feel anything. I feel good. I want to take a nap.
Are you comfortable, Steve?
It is nice, but one thing is missing.
What's that one thing that's missing, Steve?
My cuddly teddy bear.
I'm not coming in there no matter what you pay.
Please.
And this is a typical night of Steve investigating, as you can see here. After a good 10, 15 minutes, he's pretty spent.
There's Dustin and KJ in the Ansel house.
Now this, Dustin, is the area where she was vacuuming. And as she was vacuuming, she heard footsteps coming up those stairs, expected her son to be there, and nobody ever showed up. So she turned off the vacuum and went to go look, and nobody was there.
Oh, okay. Are you able to take a couple of steps toward us?
No strange or anomalous EMF readings.
We have a device on the corner of the bed here. If you move close to that, make a beeping sound and let us know that you're here.
Are you from the Bierce family or the Wadhams? Is your name Mary, perhaps?
Are you kidding me?
Are you from the Bierce family or the Wadhams? Is your name Mary, perhaps?
Are you kidding me?
Jumped up to a point two and all of a sudden went off. Right when I asked about Mary.
Mary, if you're here with us, we know that you lost a lot of people here, a lot of family members. Is it your voice that Robin hears?
Hello? Do you think that you've heard our voices enough that you could mimic them? I'd love to hear you mimic my voice.
If everybody's out there, we are listening. Let us hear your voice just once.
Hello? Is there anyone there?
Jay and Steve, main house.
You want to go do some call and response?
Sure, I'm game. Where do you want to sit?
I don't think we should both be facing the same direction, though. Why don't I just slide one of these?
We'll put this down, Steve. All right. My name's Jason. This is my friend Steve.
Hi.
All right, so we've got a device sitting on the table. If you can actually tap the device, it'll make a vibration sound. I'm gonna actually get off the wood floor and sit down on something soft.
Smart. Good thinking. Are you here with us now? Tap the device to let us know.
That device will not hurt you. If that was you, can you do it again? You'll see it will not hurt you. Okay? Don't do it until I count to 3. 1, 2. Seemed a little early there. We'll try it again. Do it when we'll do it. Do it when I say 3. 1, 2, 3.
I thought we had it locked on for a minute.
Yeah.
But it seems to be a little random right now.
If you want, send another team into here.
Yeah.
Right now.
Sometimes certain personalities are better at reaching things. Who knows?
I think it's a good idea.
All right, yeah, let's go out. I'll talk to him.
All right.
Sam and KJ in the Vogel house. I'm gonna set up this geophone on the bed.
The claim here in this room is that friends of the son have stayed in this bedroom while in this bed and have had it violently shake on them.
The first thing I want to do is see how shaky this bed is. Oh, it shakes pretty easily.
You can bounce up and down here, but it's not really violently shaking the bed, and it's sensitive enough that we will pick up those vibrations. We're hoping there's somebody here that can shake the bed for us. The place creeps me out a little bit, and it's weird. I don't get all that creeped out about places. I'm not, like, petrified.
If anything, I have a sad vibe.
A sad vibe.
Yeah, like there's so much sadness and so much death and the town being cursed and...
I just wonder if anybody from the Bierce or the Wadhams families is still here.
Mary Wadhams, would you like to communicate with us?
Hey guys, let's get the lights on. It's time to wrap. So we just wrapped the investigation here at the Vogel residence. It's been an interesting night. I'm hoping that a lot of things turned up on the recordings and on video, because we really want to help out Robin and her son. But we also got to get to the bottom of what's going on and see if any of the activity that they're experiencing is connected somehow to Dudleytown, which is right up the hill. We've had some neat experiences tonight. We've also been able to debunk some things, but we definitely got a lot of work cut out for us. I think we just want to get back to the hotel and just start analyzing the evidence.
All right, guys, Vogel residence, 2 separate buildings that were at one point attached to each other. Our client, Robin, and her son, Justin, both live there. And, you know, she wants to leave her property for him. The thing is like, she has a feeling because they live near Dudleytown, that's kind of causing this paranormal activity that's happening there. So as far as what we did catch, I've got KJ and Dustin, and you guys were investigating in the Amsel house. It happens at about 11 to 12 seconds.
Okay. All we want you to do is communicate with us. We want you to talk to us.
It's like a
Either or like a giggle, I thought maybe, but it happened so quick.
It does sound like a giggle.
It did, yeah. I'll bring it to Jane Steve, because we're kind of on the fence with it, but like, they can do a final decision with that.
So the one I have now, this is me and you. All right, now we're in the spare bedroom, the one where the bed shakes again. We put the geophone down.
Right.
There's another voice there, and it says something. So I want you to listen to it.
Okay. It's not really violently shaking the bed, and like it's... Whoa!
TAPS was called into Cornwall Bridge, Connecticut to investigate some truly terrifying claims of paranormal activity at the Vogel residence.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you? Good.
We've gone through our evidence, and now it's time to reveal our findings to our client, Robin.
While we were here, we did have a couple neat experiences that happened.
Well, Sam and KJ were investigating the bedroom that the bed supposedly shakes in. They captured a voice. I think you'll be able to make it out. So take a listen here.
You can bounce up and down here, but it's not really violently shaking the bed, and like it's sensitive enough. Like it's.
Do you hear it?
Yeah, what's she saying?
Well, you tell us what you think she's saying.
But it's not really violently shaking the bed, and like it's.
Is she saying, can I go?
It sounds like there's almost like a British accent there,
Yeah.
but think of like the word hello.
Yeah.
We'll play it again.
That's what we hear a lot of, the hello, but they think it's me.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
All right, well, this next piece is going to be a little harder to hear. It's going to be two of our investigators, KJ and Dustin. They heard what they believe to be some sort of a giggle.
We want you to talk to us. I really want to hear this mimicking.
We could put it on headphones and let you hear it. It might be a little better. It might be loud.
We want you to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
So is that something you've heard in the past, too?
Yeah, we have her giggling.
And that giggle sounds more male.
I hear a kid giggle sometimes.
Okay.
Now, trying to figure out, is it something directly involved with, Dudley Town? One way that we try to do that is of course, asking questions that we get direct answers to. But whenever we brought that dialogue up, we didn't really see a spike in activity, that sort of thing. But sadly, that doesn't help us point in any direction.
Nothing comes off malicious, nothing comes off negative.
Right.
It's here, it's doing its own thing. But I know one of your big concerns also was you want to leave the property to your son,
right.
And you were concerned about that. I truly don't see any reason to be concerned about that. If anything happens in the future, you want us to come back, we will. We'll come back, we'll check it out, we'll spend more time.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming out. That was great.
Thank you very, very much.
And good that you got that great EVP.
Come on, we'll get out of here.
Okay.
The evidence that TAPS presented to me actually did give me peace. It made me feel that there wasn't something malicious in my house. It made me feel like the former residents were just still here. I believe that I can leave the house to my son eventually and, still keep the guest house going. I feel really good about this.
I think that went great, man.
Yeah, she was just happy that we caught something.
She was definitely happy that we were able to catch some of the things that she's experienced, because I think it helps take that whole "am I going crazy" mentality away.
Yep.
But she seemed to handle it well.
Yeah.
Good job, brother.
Thanks, you too.
On to the next, man. So, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool case. We have a restaurant. We have a house to investigate. Same investigation, just different structures, and that's always cool.
Yeah, we've got two different people who are experiencing the same activity at two different buildings. We've got Jim, who's the executive chef at the John Wright restaurant, and you've got Scott, who's also a chef there.
Yeah.
And they're claiming all different types of activity. And what's really weird is that they're both hearing the same little girl running around. But Jim hears her at the restaurant, and Scott hears her at the Wrightsville house.
Makes it kind of exciting.
I think so. I think this is going to be fun.
TAPS case, the John Wright restaurant and Wrightsville house, Wrightsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, how are you? Good. I'm Jason.
Scott.
Nice
Hey, I'm Steve. Jim.
Jim, Scott.
How's it going, Scott?
The John Wright restaurant and the Wrightsville house across the street have a history that starts in the early 1800s. In 1812, the Wrightsville house was an inn for travelers after they had crossed the Susquehanna River. In 1818, the house was bought by the Kaufhold family and was used as a hotel. The building stayed in the family and was restored in 1995. One of our clients, Scott, lived in the Wrightsville house for several months when he first moved to Wrightsville to work in the John Wright restaurant. The John Wright restaurant was built in the early 1900s and was originally a working silk mill. During this time, it's believed that many people, including children, died in the mill. In 1980, descendants of the Kaufhold family bought the mill and turned it into the John Wright store and later added a restaurant.
So, tell us about the paranormal activity you guys have been experiencing over here.
For me, when I came in here about 5 years ago, quite frankly, I thought the whole ghost thing was I thought it was in people's minds. Scott had a few experiences, and then I had a couple, and I believe now.
So now, I know you spent time living in the house across the street, and you've had experiences over there as well.
Yeah.
A female apparition that you saw?
Yeah, like a shadow figure. I woke up, and it was in the corner of my room.
You were able to make out definition?
Yeah.
Others have had similar experiences in the bedroom.
One evening, I hear this rustling next to me. So I sat up and swung my feet around. I looked at the bed, and I actually could see the bed, the indentation, and like if someone was trying to nestle into the bed and be comfortable.
What else has happened over there?
I've had doors shut on me. I've heard people in the house. I've heard footsteps, and I've had someone try to come into my room. That was pretty scary.
And back across the street at the John Wright restaurant, people have experienced similar activity.
Late at night, whenever we close down, no one's up here, and you hear someone walking, pacing back and forth. Right where the back bar is, that's where we would hear it.
I was standing at the liquor cabinet and I was pulling out a bottle of vodka, and it actually felt like somebody was walking behind me, and something pushed me into the cage like this, and then I looked around and nobody was there.
I know apparitions, full-body apparitions have been seen, shadow-type entities.
I had a large shadow figure right in front of me, and it was about my size.
Objects at the restaurant have also been knocked off shelves and thrown around. In the kitchen, a chef had a container of tarragon knocked over right in front of him. And on the store security camera, a purse can be seen flying off a shelf and landing several feet away on the floor.
So what are you guys hoping we're able to accomplish here?
One is there a little girl apparition here? Are there children here? Was there an accident here?
I'm also concerned because I stayed over there and I work over here. Does that little girl follow me?
All right.
You know, it's kind of weird because other people have heard little girls' voices. I would like to be able to tell my staff they're safe.
Well, then we're going to go talk to our crew and start figuring out how to set up and trying to figure this out for you guys, all right?
Thank you
very much for your time, guys. We just got done talking with Scott and Jim about the activity that seems to be going on at the John Wright restaurant and at the Wrightsville house. And Jim really is bothered. He's worried about his employees. They're terrified to go into these different areas of the building alone.
So I'm in the gift shop right now, inside the restaurant. I'm taking this camera and I'm putting it over here where all these bags and pocketbooks are, because we actually have security footage that shows a pocketbook being knocked off in the middle of the night.
The buildings have an old history. Being a mill and having child labor, you never truly know what went on there. And the tough thing is the buildings might have some sort of connection, and that's why this little girl's going back and forth. So hopefully the investigation will come up with some of these answers.
Right about going there.
So we're setting up this thermal camera here up in the attic of the John Wright restaurant. The claim up here is of footsteps of this little girl. So we'll be able to monitor if any kind of heat signature comes in here.
Okay, that looks great, just where it is.
Excellent. That's beautiful, wonderful. Thank you very much.
All right, guys, that's all cameras. Gentlemen.
Dave?
How's it going?
We good?
Yes, we are good.
Wow, a lot of cameras.
7 DVR cameras, 3 GoPro cameras, so 10 cameras altogether.
All right, so let's just make sure we've got wireless audio and get the lights out and start investigating.
Yeah. Sounds good.
We'll head over into the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, it's a little noisy down here. We're in the
A little
kitchen.
noisy. So we're in the kitchen where they heard a voice. They also had one of the spices fall off the shelf. And we try to see if we can have any type of spirit activity interact with us down here.
Okay, seeing as I carried this REM pod down with me, I'm gonna put it
In the
over-
spices?
Well,
Put it in the
could.
spices. Yeah, do it.
Like right on top of them?
Yeah, move some spices around.
Let's
Right
see.
there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Push them back a little.
That looks perfect. Right next to the nutmeg and the tarragon.
All right, so if you try and grab these, this REM pod will go off.
You know, they say there's a spirit of a man that's been heard here, a male voice. Are you the one that can move the spices around?
What we're hoping is that you'd be willing to show us where the tarragon is. The story goes is that the chef was down here and he said to himself, I need some tarragon. He came over and walked over to this spice rack, and there's tons of spices. I mean, there are, whoa.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey. But we're hoping that you'd be willing to show us where the tarragon is. And there's tons of spices. I mean, there are, whoa.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey.
Now we're cooking. Yeah.
All
buddy.
right. That's exactly what we're looking for
That's
right
exactly.
there.
We start talking about the tarragon and this thing goes off. Okay, So what I'm looking for now on my evidence is hopefully we've got some kind of EVP communication that will back up our experience we just had with this REM pod.
Could you maybe do that again? I know that probably took a lot of energy for you to do. If there's any way you could try to do that again, could you move something over there? Could you make that go off again? That was pretty sweet, dude.
That was...
I mean,
that could have been more perfect.
Oh, I know. It's exactly what you were describing.
Jay and Steve, Wrightsville House.
All right, here we are.
So did you move in that door?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. I wasn't prepared for that. Hello? This is the house that really scared Scott.
Yeah, Scott really does not like this place. But where he saw that apparition was upstairs, right? Yeah.
But he heard things throughout the whole house.
Yeah. Footsteps, and you know what? This is a stone floor here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Up there we have wood, hardwood. However, it's pretty solid. It's not creaky at all.
It is. It's pretty solid. What is that whistling sound every so often? Is you moving? Or it's not like a... It's a... Oh, hang on. Hear it?
Oh, yeah.
You hear it?
Oh, yeah, it's every time you step there.
Listen to that. Ready?
Interesting. It makes a whistle.
But it was happening before, so it's got to be... So if we're here... Yep, listen. See? All right.
Well, that whistling has been disproved.
Debunked.
David, Sherry, why don't you guys take the first couple floors of the John Wright restaurant?
Copy.
Now the next thing is a pocketbook.
Right.
And it was just out of reach of the camera.
Right over here. And there is a video of the pocketbook falling off. And it literally just kind of comes right off. And then I believe the woman who noticed this rewinds it. Yep, so now, see? So that's...
God, that's so tough not seeing where,
Like she's rewinding it, and then she kind of fast forwards it. So you don't see the natural of how it falls. I don't know. I do not know. It's really tough to figure out what actually happened to the purse without being there and seeing what happened. But, we have cameras everywhere. We had a camera going, so if anything moved, hopefully we caught it.
Let's head upstairs.
Let's go
upstairs.
What was
the
that?
floors.
Okay.
See?
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a female voice, though, doesn't it? I mean, hey.
Where?
I guess a girl from the 1800s
See
isn't
the
going to
little-
go,
Hey.
all right,
Okay.
upstairs we go. Just getting a good eye all the way up. You can see up to the third floor through here.
All right. So this is the footstep room.
Okay. So this is where our client, Scott, was sitting on his bed, spending the night here in the house, and heard footsteps coming up the stairs and into the room. So our EMF reading just went from a 0.2 as we were coming up the stairs, and look at that. That's interesting, a 1.7, 1.6, right where his head is.
I don't know if an EMF in the bed is going to explain the footsteps that were coming in the room. Hello?
Are you the little girl that Scott believes is following him?
We don't know if you traveled to the restaurant and back. Maybe you're over there right now.
All right. Jason and Steve in the basement of the Wrightsville house.
Pretty clean basement, seeing it was built in the 1800s.
Yeah, but this concrete floor isn't old at all. Because look, these are frost cracks. It happened in the winter, so you'd have a lot more of them, so it's not old down there.
Scott thinks a little girl has been following him between this house and the restaurant. Is there a little girl here?
What about the Kaufeld family? Are any of you still in the house? What was that? What was that?
What was that? Sounded like a...
Hello? Did you want to live here?
He's not doing it anymore.
Hey guys, it's getting late. Let's get the lights on. It's time to wrap.
So we just wrapped the investigation here at the John Wright restaurant and the Wrightsville house. And it's been a rather quiet night. And there's been some experiences here and there, but not a lot has happened. And yeah, I'm a little concerned about that because I really want to be able to bring some of these answers to Scott and Jim. But of course, you really can't make any judgment calls until you analyze the evidence. So we're going to do our best, whether it's paranormal or not. We're just here to help.
Our clients, Jim and Scott, called taps out to the John Wright restaurant and Wrightsville house in Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, to investigate claims that similar activity had been experienced at both properties. We've gone through our evidence, and I've sent Steve and Tangle back to talk to our clients about what we found.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. How you doing? How's it going?
Scott.
Yeah. Well, thanks for making some time to meet up with us. Now, what we did when we came here is we set equipment up all over the place, you know, in the house here, in the restaurant, and all the floors above. But when it comes to the evidence, we weren't able to really get anything. But the claims seem to be along the lines of a residual type of haunting, something without intelligence.
And it just repeats itself over and over.
Exactly, and it really is just like a playback. Now, with that being said, we can't say with some degree of certainty that there's nothing to fear, you know, in terms of something following you. And I know your experience, things are more in the restaurant there, but I think much the same. We didn't find anything with intelligence in there. Most likely, it is there.
Which could still be scary to see, obviously, but you really don't have anything to be afraid of.
Honestly, that's good and comforting for my staff.
Right.
And also for potential guests here at this house.
All right, gentlemen. This has been really awesome.
Thank you so much. Yep. Steve and Tango, when they did their investigation, really found nothing. They didn't get anything solid on camera. And, you know, I'm not disappointed in what they found out. In that, well, one is I can tell my staff now, hey, the TAPS team came in. You have nothing to be afraid of here. You may see something, but you have nothing to be afraid of.
What I found from TAPS was that they do very thorough investigation, and actually happy that they gave us their honest opinion. It put me at peace knowing that nothing was following me from this place to the restaurant and wasn't also going to follow me to my house.
Well, that was great.
Yeah?
You know, I think that Scott understands now that there isn't anything to fear. Nothing's going to follow him home.
No. You know, and seeing him before and seeing him now, you can kind of tell he's got a grip of the situation a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Jim, you know, now that he understands that, you know, nothing's going to happen to his staff.
Right.
Nothing is going to happen to his patrons.
Right.
I think we did our job. We helped our client.
I agree.
And now we just got to give Jay a call.
Yep.
And let him know everything went nice and smooth.
All right. Sounds good.
Nice job, Dave.
Same to you.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
This is intense.
You want me to go first?
Oh, whoa. Hold on. Whoa. Except I was pushing my head back.
On this episode of Ghost Hunters.
Wilmington, Delaware, man. Rockwood Museum.
Some really interesting experiences. There is a confirmed death on the property.
Mary lived here in the house until she was 100 years of age.
There's been a lady in white.
Mary Bringhurst, are you here?
There's been a man with slicked back hair.
Eddie, we've seen a lot of pictures of you.
How was that? Also, we've got a couple friends showing up tonight. We've got John Zubrowski and Rachel Nichols.
Wow. Is that crazy? Wow. Is that crazy?
You could see us. Are there any females here with us?
Wow, okay. This place is crazy active. Dude. Whoa. That door just opened.
So Wilmington, Delaware, man. Rockwood Museum. This place was built in 1854. And two people who work here, Philip and April, they've been experiencing all these things for a long period of time.
This place has a really interesting history. A gentleman named Mr. Shipley built it, and there is a confirmed death on the property in the early 1900s. Some really interesting experiences as well. They're seeing shadows, they're hearing voices. And supposedly, a few policemen responded to a call at the house and saw these apparitions themselves. They're going to be doing some renovations at the house as well, and they're kind of afraid that it might stir up some activity.
Hey guys, also to let you know, we've got a couple friends showing up tonight. We've got Rachel Nichols, who's an actress, and another good friend of ours, John Zubrowski. They're both very big into the paranormal, and they wanted to come and hang out on a case.
Awesome.
Cool. Here we go. Look at this place.
Look at this.
It's like spooky the way it just pops up.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Taps case, Rockwood Museum, Wilmington, Delaware.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
I'm Jason. Well, welcome to Rockwood.
How are you, sir?
Nice rock.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Wow. This place is beautiful. It really is. So what's some of the history here?
The place was built by Joseph Shipley in 1854. And he was born to a very wealthy family in Wilmington. And he went to Liverpool, England. Spent 30 years there and made lots of money. He was a merchant banker. He actually lived in a place over in Liverpool called Wincot. And he loved that house so much, he had this house built, which is almost an exact copy of it. And he passed away in 1867. When Shipley passed away, the Bringhurst family moved into the house.
Edward Bringhurst and his wife Anna had 4 children. Their 3 youngest, Mary, Edith, and Edward Jr., grew up in the house.
And we understand that his niece passed away in the home here?
Yes, okay. Yes. Mary, she lived here in the house until she was 100 years of age, passed away.
So now, there's been claims of paranormal activity here for a long time.
Yes. I've been here for 14 years, and when I first got here, there have been many stories about people who worked here that had strange things happening. The doors opening, closing, hear footsteps. I go over and, hello, hello, is anybody here? And there's nobody here.
Because Mary died in the house, many believe that she could be the cause of some of this activity.
I was in Mary's bedroom when I had my experience. Just as I was ready to leave, all of a sudden I got very cold. But what got my attention is someone was slowly drawing a circle right in the middle of my back.
There's been a lady in white seen in the Winter Garden area of the house. There's been a man in black with slicked back hair who was walked right across the landing up there. That's been corroborated by more than one witness.
Other sightings include that of a small boy believed to be Edward Jr.
We were walking through the kitchen, and there was a young boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old, sitting at one end of the table. He turned around and smiled at me. Later on, I saw photos of Edward, and it was him to a T.
Philip has also seen an apparition that is not Mary or Edward Jr., but their father.
I was closing up in the West Wing, and there's somebody sitting in a chair, and I looked at him, and he was looking straight at me, and he had a red smoking jacket on, and it was Edward. And I looked at him, and I got, I'm getting chills right now as I'm telling you about it. And I turned away, and I said, I see you. And I looked back over like this, and he was gone.
And April gets uneasy feelings in certain parts of the house.
They call it the Monte Carlo room. When I walk in there, I kind of feel like a Tesla coil.
Okay,
It's
just
really...
kind of like charged air?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And one of the strangest claims is that of the spirits of the Bringhurst beloved dogs being seen and heard on the grounds and around the mansion.
What are you mainly hoping that we're able to accomplish then?
We are doing a special exhibit called Victorians and Spiritualism, and that's one of the reasons I wanted you folks to come out here.
Okay.
We're talking about crystal balls and Ouija boards and these things. Very, very popular in the Victorian era.
Sure.
And I've had several of the volunteers that are very freaked out about having this stuff here.
Okay.
So what I would like you to do is to confirm one way or another if there is any real paranormal activity happening.
Employees are also concerned that the Victorian and Spiritualism exhibit may bring out even more paranormal activity.
All right, I think, yeah, from there, we'll go talk to the rest of the crew, start figuring out how to set up and get going. But
okay.
If you guys need anything, let us know. Thank you very much for everything.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey. Hey.
All right. So, hey, what's up, fellas? How are you?
It's good
to see you. Thanks for having us, man.
Oh, thanks for coming out. This should be good. Honestly, it's a good case. We just talked with them inside.
Just walking around the place, I can only assume how much more eerie it's going to be when the lights go out.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun tonight. It'll be good.
If you hear screams coming from one of the wings,
it's Jonathan, for sure. I grew up in a very, very old house in the great state of Maine. And it wasn't until I was about 10, 11 years old that we found out that the man who built the house was buried in our backyard. It was always one of those cool things because we always said that we had a good spirit watching over the house. So it's just really cool because I got into this very young.
Thank you for your vote of confidence. I'm fascinated by the paranormal. I've been watching Ghost Hunters since season 1. Ever since I was a kid, I've been fascinated by things you can't explain. But this is my first real deal investigation.
So we got a lot of ground to cover, though.
Yeah, a lot of rooms.
Start setting up as many cameras as we can and get
Absolutely.
going. All right, let's do this.
Let's get cracking.
All right, let's have some fun.
Cool.
This place is huge, but we have John and Rachel here with us tonight. So Tango and the team, they're going to be very well equipped to wire and get cameras up in this entire building. John came right up to me and was like, oh man, I love what you guys do. This is awesome. I've been following you guys since day one, and that's awesome to hear. And Rachel, again, is in love with the paranormal, and she's really excited to be here. But we have to remember that this is their first investigation, so their safety is of the utmost importance to us. They're here to investigate with us, and that's exciting. I just can't wait for it to get dark, to get in there, and I think this is going to be a great investigation.
So right now, I'm setting up this full spectrum camera up on the second floor landing area. This is where they've seen the majority of the apparitions. You know, they've seen a woman, they've seen shadows up here. So like I said, just cover the whole landing.
So right now, Sherry and I are in the basement of the Rockwood Museum, and we're setting up this camera, shooting straight down the hallway. There's so many claims everywhere, apparitions, voices, so I'm really hoping that we catch something.
That's great, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So this camera here is in the dining room, and we got a couple of claims in here. The spirit of a child who apparently pushed one of the volunteers. So this camera will cover this whole room tonight.
Tango?
Hey guys.
What have we here?
All right, we have 7 cameras total.
All right. Wow,
yeah.
jeez.
And this is the grounds. Again, this is where they've seen a lot of the apparitions of the Great Danes. And also, we chose thermal, obviously, because if we do see any actual animals, we'll capture them.
I think it's great. Awesome. All right, well, let's get the lights out and we'll do it.
This is KJ and Dustin, entering Rockwood Museum, heading upstairs.
You got a bird's eye view of the whole place.
Big time.
We've been told the names of perhaps a couple of you. There's Edward or Eddie.
Are you down the hallway? You want to play hide and seek? I'm game.
Right up here. Tight quarters. All right. Is there anybody up here with us? Can somebody please help us?
Whoa, what the heck was that?
I heard something. Did you move something in that room? Shh. Listen to this sound again. Wow, it got really cold through here. Where did that come from?
Dude, totally.
Right? That's welcome.
Okay. We're curious. We understand that there's someone up here.
Listen, if there's anything that you can do, we heard two sounds in here. Then we felt this cold area.
Can you go other places? Dude. Whoa. Can you just move something for us? Can you go other places?
Dude.
Whoa. Hey.
That door.
That door.
There's a handle,
Dude,
right?
my back's to this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool.
That door just opened, like, I'm assuming there's some type of knob or something.
I'm not even sure. I want to know what's behind it.
It sounded like something turned the door and opened it. Wow, this place is crazy.
Holy moly.
All right, listen, we don't want to come barging in these rooms on you, but whoever's up here with us, you've definitely shown us that you're capable of doing many things.
That's cool. Listen, we're not going to invade your space.
We don't mean to be disrespectful.
That moment right there for us was absolutely spectacular. When you have moments like that going on, you really have to be careful. We don't want to just go rushing in. We don't want to go guns a-blazing in there because we don't want to push anything out. We also don't want to put ourselves in a situation that puts us in harm's way. So we stop because we want to be very respectful.
That was amazing. I don't even know where to begin.
All right. Jonathan, they're saying they're seeing shadows darting back and forth through hallways like this, left and right, up and down. And this is where a shadow literally went right by some police officers. All right, let's see.
It smells like dryer sheets, doesn't it?
It does. Look at you. Look at you using that nose.
I have a hyperactive olfactory sense.
You have a what?
A hyperactive olfactory sense. Like I smell stuff like before anybody smells stuff.
Get out of here. That's awesome.
There'll be times when I'll be like, do you guys smell that? It's like smoke. I'll be like, what are you talking about?
Get out of here.
And then 10 minutes later, people are like, oh my God, it smells like smoke.
See, we could use a guy like you. That's really cool. All right, so are you going to be comfortable? I'm going to turn off the light for
for sure.
and then we'll just be quiet for a while. Okay. Hello? People claim to see you down here. They just say that you look like a dark figure, almost like a shadow. Philip just wants to know if you're a family member. He believes you are a family member.
Can you walk down this hallway towards us?
Is anyone from the Bringhurst family here? Mary Bringhurst, are you down here? I keep hearing something. It sounds like voices, but it's down here. I think it's this. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Wow.
Is that crazy?
That sounds like a howling ghost. Yeah. That's crazy.
I wonder what that is. It's like a water pump?
I don't know, but it's a ghost maker.
That's pretty creepy.
Huh. If they're claiming to hear voices down here,
Disembodied voices, yeah, that's
disproved, for sure.
My name's Sam, and this is Rachel. Hi. And we were asked to come out and talk to you, see if this was your home.
Okay, that mannequin scared me. We're just a dress and a hanger. Yeah, there we go.
You'll never get used to that, no matter how many times you walk around in the dark. So right now, Rachel and I are in the Monte Carlo room, and we know that April feels uncomfortable up here. This isn't a room she'll go into. Well, I'm not sure what's making her feel uncomfortable. I'm not sure if it's just a negative energy she's feeling. But, I mean, being two women, we're going to spend some time in here. We're going to see if we feel at all uncomfortable and why, or if somebody just wants to come out and talk to us.
Mary Bringhurst, are you here? We know you died in the house.
I'm just wondering, like, aesthetically, like, what would give her an eerie feeling?
Yeah.
I'm going to do an EMF sweep of this room. Sometimes that could make you feel a little eerie. So it's only, 0.1. There's nothing at all. I mean, it could just simply be the fact that it is a loop. Like, you can't see what's around the next corner, like that, which tends to happen a lot in things, like basements or just very confined spaces because you can't see what's going to come around the door as you walk around it.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
I mean, it's darker than a lot of the other rooms, so maybe that's giving a bit of the vibe.
All right, this is the dining room where the little boy has been seen that they think is Eddie.
If there's anyone here, my name's Jason. These are my friends Steve, Rachel, and Jonathan.
Eddie, we've seen a lot of pictures of you.
I can put this down on the table then.
Hey, Eddie, we're here with a toy.
Sitting right here on the table.
All you have to do is touch it. See, and it makes that fun noise. Can you do that? Can you make our toy beep again, Eddie?
Mary? Can you come over to us? We know you loved this house. Are you angry about something?
Are you bothered that we're walking around your house? Are you able to see us? Just tap the device for a yes.
You can come and touch me if you want.
If you can see us, are there any females here with us?
It's registering more red.
Oh, wow.
If you can see us, are there any females here with us?
Seemed like a pretty direct response there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a female?
It's registering more red.
Oh, wow. That's creepy.
Yeah, nobody's been in here or sat in a chair, so it's pretty weird.
It's definitely giving off a heat signature, that's for sure.
Can you see me?
Oh, we just jumped up to a 1 right before it just beeped that time. We went from a 0.3 to a 1.0.
Let's take it off, Steve. There's no reason for it to be jumping like that.
1, you see that?
Yep.
You saw it just jump to 1. 1.6.
Can you come and touch my leg?
You saw it jump again before it went
Can you
off.
come and touch me? If you make that go up one more time, we'll leave for you. And we'll leave you alone. Let you have some peace. Are we talking with Eddie?
There it goes again, 1.3, 1.7. Yep, see?
That's crazy.
How about this? If you can make it beep again, we'll leave. We can leave the dining room.
Well, there it goes.
Yeah.
1.
Damn it.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I have to say that was pretty cool. That was cool.
When you said, if you can see us, is there a woman in here? And that was when you
Yeah, boom. Yeah.
That one gave me
They make the
goosebumps.
hair stand up.
Yep, me too.
It was good.
Just head down this way.
Right now, Dustin and I, we're rolling around the grounds here with the thermal camera. There's been reports of them seeing dogs rolling around here that fit the exact description of the dogs that lived here at the Rockwood Mansion. So we're going to just cruise the grounds and check it out, looking for animals or anything that resembles a dog and see if it actually is living or not. How about this? Come here, guys. Time to eat.
Oh, there's something in there.
What is
I heard something scamper. I didn't see anything. Let's focus over here. Let's try going closer to it and see if it moves. Trying to find like any little shiny eyes or anything.
Look at that. There's a little heat signature right there.
It's moving around. Can you find it anymore?
No, I can't find it. What do we got? Oh. Just a pot for a plant. Super hot, though. Look at
We're doing well finding things tonight. Yeah. And a rock and a potted plant on the next All New Pottery Hunters.
This is Sam and Sherry in the basement of the Rockwood Museum.
People see shadows going back and forth in this hall, right?
Or you can put the REM pod down in the hallway in front of the camera and see if anything happens.
Yeah? Ooh, look at these big spiders down here.
That's not a spider.
Is it a
I don't
cricket?
know what it is. It's just the weirdest looking bug ever. They lied.
I didn't think he would jump like that. Oh, God.
Oh, don't go near him. He's so mad now. I don't know. He's so mad.
Back to work.
So my name's Sam, and this is Sherry.
Hello. We're not here to tell you to leave. We're only here to see who you are and if there's anything you need.
If you know Eddie, could you touch that piece of equipment? If you know Eddie,
Are you Eddie? If you are, can you touch the piece of equipment, please? Is this Mary?
Now, they say that the little boy, little Eddie, is said to push people around in here in a playful way.
Hey, Eddie, this toy, if you get close to it, it makes a really fun sound like this. Can you play with it for us? Just tap it, just like you did before. Whoa.
Wow, dude. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
impressive.
Eddie. I mean, the hair on my neck is standing up.
I bet, dude. This is nuts.
All right, I'm going to touch it, Eddie, and let's see if you can do what I do. Let's see if you can do that.
He's got the same pattern.
I know! That is incredible.
That is amazing.
All right, I'm going to touch it, Eddie, and let's see if you can do what I do. Let's see if you can do that.
He's got the same pattern.
I know! That is incredible.
That is amazing.
That's very cool.
Do it again. Let's make it really loud this time.
Dude, I'm getting chills. This is crazy, man.
That's great.
Wow.
Eddie, I'm going to sit down on the floor. Do you want to come play with my hair?
You want to play the matching game again? Watch. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Can you do that, Eddie? That is so incredible.
Cool,
oh
so
my
cool.
gosh. You like playing with us?
Wow.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, right? This is the most active I've ever seen this thing.
Jay and Steve heading into Rockwood Mansion.
So when we're dealing with this first floor here, we're really talking about that little boy spirit?
And the apparition of that lady in the white dress.
There's the white lady. Mary? Hello? Let's head up. This is the room that Mary Bringhurst died in. Mary, can you tell us if you're here? It's a beautiful house. Scared me. You scared me. I thought you were ahead of me, not behind me.
No.
It's really just a bunch of stores.
Goes to another door. What is it for? Like Alice in Wonderland over here.
There's like 100 doors up here. It's kind of cool.
Just sound like somebody walking.
Up or down, or you can't tell.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, it just sounds like them walking right below us.
I've seen two different apparitions in this room. The little boy and the gentleman with the black suit. Well, I don't see anything in here that would give anybody the illusion that they're seeing a gentleman in a black suit.
Somebody flying a drone?
That's what it sounds like. Or like a computer drive that's gone bad.
How was it?
All right, man. How about we go back in and see what's behind that door?
Earlier in the night, Dustin and I were up in the attic area, and the door behind Dustin, the doorknob started turning like somebody was opening that door. I didn't even want to open it at that point. We were so close, we were so exposed to whatever could have been there. We want to be very respectful, but we always have to investigate what's going on. And so we knew that at some point we're going to have to go through this door and see what's on the other side.
All right.
All right. What is that? That's another staircase.
I heard something and then a bang. Sounded like 2 steps and a bang. All right, so if anybody's still up here, we'd like to come closer. Is that okay? We appreciate your interaction so far.
We come with the best intentions.
Yeah, it's another stairwell.
It is, isn't it? Okay. Dude, something was
Dude,
on the other
like,
side of this door.
This is amazing.
Are you part of the Bringhurst family?
Are you Eddie?
I'm Mary. It's all right.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you right here, buddy.
It's okay, all right? We mean you no harm.
Oh, it goes this way.
It goes left, and it goes up again.
This is intense.
You know where you're going first?
Oh, hold on. Except I was pushing my head back. This is intense.
You know where you're going first?
Oh, hold on.
Whoa. What was that?
It was weird, man. It felt like something was like pushing my head back.
I thought I saw something reach over.
All right, hold on.
All right.
Wow, dude, like literally, it felt like this, like pushing my head back like when I was trying to go up the stairwell.
I swear, from my perspective, dude, it looked like something reached around that corner. There's a brick right there.
Yeah.
All right.
This place is crazy active, man.
Edward?
Hey, listen, I appreciate the interaction, but I'm not pushing you, so, you know.
Let's keep it on a friendly nature, please. Can you see him?
Dude, it is.
What is it?
I don't know, man. Is anybody up here?
We want to meet you. Please just tell us who you are. That's all.
Oh, dude, it feels weird up here, man. Wow, man. Were you the one that opened the door? You're the one that pushed me when I was coming up the stairs. Well, listen, I get it. This is your spot. We don't mean you any harm. There's as many rooms up here as there is down there.
Oh, my goodness.
This is Steve and Dave. We are, where are we?
Rockwood.
Rockwood Museum.
Think rock and wood.
Right.
2 elements.
2 elements.
Well, I don't know.
Well, no, they're not elements.
Well, you know what I'm saying. 2 elemental things. You know, on the periodic table. Come on, man, you know, back in science class in the day.
Were you thinking like fire, water,
Yes.
wind?
Yeah. Aren't they called the elements?
Yeah.
Right. Rock, scissors, paper, and wood.
Well, dining room is up here on the left, I believe. Here it is. Boom. You know, one thing I've noticed, they claim to see this apparition of a gentleman in a black jacket, the white lady. But every room has a gentleman with a black jacket.
Yeah.
Every room has a lady in white.
Yep.
I mean, do you think maybe it just catches them off guard at one point?
I mean, it is a coincidence.
Hello, ladies.
Hi, Steve.
Would you care to dance?
Sure.
You look nice in purple.
Thank you.
I like this pattern.
Me too.
I can't see your face.
Oh, I'm just shy.
You are?
Yeah. Don't look. No.
Peek.
No.
Come on.
No. No.
You are shy.
I'm very shy.
Come with me.
I have a limp hand.
Hey guys, it's late. Let's get these lights on. It's time to wrap. So we just wrapped the investigation here at Rockwood Museum. All in all, it's been a great investigation. Most teams seem to have this direct communication. Rachel and Jonathan have had a great time investigating.
Tonight's investigation instilled a sense of wonder in me about something I can't explain, but like wanted so desperately to comprehend. We're packing up right now, and I'm like, I want to get back in there, you know?
Now that I've had my first paranormal experience, I want to have a lot more. There were some really sort of fun elements to it that I wasn't expecting at all.
I know we've got some great evidence already to bring back to Philip in April, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what we don't know we have yet and just trying to come up with some answers to help them all out here.
All right, guys, Rockwood Museum, a lot of experiences. I know Philip being the owner, he's concerned that the Victorian spiritualism exhibit they're planning could spike activity. He just wants to make sure that it's safe for patrons to be there.
Sure.
So that's what we're here for. We're here to, you know, really just try to figure this out. So as far as evidence goes, we'll start with this one here. This is John, Rachel, and Dustin. And it seems we got a response from it through the REM pod.
All right. I'm going to touch it, Eddie, and let's see if you can do what I do.
Let's see if you can do that.
Right on the money.
This night, the REM pod stuff that was happening, it was extremely impressive, to the point where it wasn't coincidence anymore.
No. So this is a moment during Jay and Steve's investigation. They were in Mary's room, and let me just show it to you. I won't spoil it for you, and you guys can decide for yourself.
This is all original to the house.
You think all of it is?
I think so.
It sounds like someone's telling a joke, and then there's laughter.
That's loud enough for them to be able to...
And it really sounds like it's in the room.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. That's awesome. All right, guys, so this is John, Rachel, and Dustin. They're in the prep kitchen. You'll hear kind of like a moan, right?
Okay.
So I'll play it for you real quick.
When people aren't in here, they find it in different places.
Wow.
What it is, I have no idea.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
Taps was called into the Rockwood Museum in Wilmington, Delaware by our clients Philip and April. They're concerned that an upcoming exhibit on Victorian spiritualism might increase paranormal activity that's been long reported at the museum. We've gone through our evidence.
Hey, how are you? It's good to see you again.
And now Sam and I are back to show our clients what we found.
We do have some neat things to show you, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so this one, now this is our investigator, Dustin, and we had two guests with us for the night, Rachel and John. And they were in the prep kitchen, and you'll hear something that happened while they were in there.
When people aren't in here, they find it in different places.
Kind of like a weird moan that happened. They didn't really hear at the time, but it showed up upon analysis.
That's clear.
Yeah, it's very clear.
From here, two of our investigators, Dustin and KJ, are investigating. Now, they're alone. They're upstairs in the attic area. And while they're up there, they're trying to make contact with anything that's up there. And you'll see what happens.
Can you go other places?
Dude. See where Dustin is right there?
Hey.
Oh, wow.
You can hear the handle turn, the door open.
Dude.
So,
whoa, hey.
Can you go other places? And then all of a sudden that happens.
Sort of gives me a little chill right now.
Now, we'll go on to the next piece.
So this one is KJ and Dustin again, and later on in the night, they've entered that door, and they have another pretty cool experience while they're in there.
This is intense.
You want me to go first?
Oh,
whoa, 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 whoa,
hold on.
Whoa. What was that?
It was weird, man. It felt like something was like pushing my head back.
Dude, I thought I saw something reach over.
Wow.
Now, this next piece we're going to show you, we had Dustin, Rachel, and John all in the dining room.
All right, I'm going to touch it, Eddie, and let's see if you can do what I do. Let's see if you can do that. You got the same pattern.
I know. Well, that's chill-inducing.
Yeah.
How do you explain it? And you can see them, they're excited because this is like great. You know, they're having direct communication with something, which also informs you that it's an intelligent type thing.
But that's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's wild. It is wild.
And they're referencing Eddie because, again, they were in there for a good amount of time. And the only time they got communication was when they said Eddie.
All right, so now this is really interesting. I want to know if this is a sound that you're used to hearing. Take a listen. Somebody flying a drone?
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, what's that face for? Well, have you heard this before?
Yes.
Really? Where?
Well, the reason I kind of jogged my memory is because when Linda and I heard it, we were on the stairs right where you are.
Okay.
So that's what I thought, I wonder if this, whatever it is, did its thing again.
Okay.
We were in the exact same spot when we heard it.
Yeah, weird. Couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
So this clip now, this is my dad and Steve, and they have Rachel and John with them again. And there are a few noises that happen.
Speaker on the bottom, or what is it?
You hear it?
Like a little whistle.
Here it comes. Like a...
Speaker on the bottom, or what is it?
And I can tell you,
I was there. I don't remember hearing any whistles. Now, I know you were also hoping, are you guys able to figure out, who's here, why they're here? But I can say that they were getting direct responses when they were talking to Eddie. It was saying that this is me. It was direct responses to that. So it definitely shows some sort of an intelligence there. And even though a couple of our investigators got pushed and had doors open, that also seemed like it could be Eddie playing around, and it doesn't appear to be anything aggressive or anything to fear. To have something that might have resided here back then still here, that's only a positive, I would think. What do you think of the stuff we've shown you?
I think it's really fantastic.
Sure. Definitely seems to be something with some intelligence. There also seems to be something more of a residual type.
Sort of says there's something paranormal going on here.
I wouldn't say there's anything to fear, but...
Well, that's sort of the answer to my question, because that's what a couple of volunteers, and also April has a problem going into a certain room in an area.
Yeah, and we did check. We looked at that. I mean, we looked into that. We looked for high EMF in that room. I will say during the night, two of our investigators did feel like when they walked in, all the hair on their arms stood up. They felt like it was more of a charged room, but there wasn't anything we could draw from that. Okay. So it might just be the feeling you get. Of the room. And that might just be your senses telling you, hey, it shouldn't be in here right now. There's something else in here. But I think it was just a great investigation. We had a wonderful time. And
this is really great.
I want to come back. I want to check it out again sometime.
I'd love to have you, yes.
Thank you very much for having us.
Okay, well, thank you.
Need anything, give us a shout, okay?
Thanks, Ian. It's great. Thank you so much. TAPS told us that the house is active, and probably the activity is benign, and it certainly appeared that way from their evidence. I'm thrilled to hear that because we have some worried volunteers, and we can set their minds at ease and proceed with our exhibit.
Everything they showed me was really, really fantastic. I'm just hoping that this will alleviate any of the fears that some of my volunteers have.
Well, that went well. Philip and April were excited with the evidence we caught. It helped back up a lot of the claims, but I loved that Philip was sort of still looking for an explanation.
He said, people come to me with these claims, and he's had one or two experiences himself, but, not to this magnitude of stuff that we showed him. I definitely want to come back. It's an amazing location.
Me too. Good job, kiddo. On to the next.